This video is going viral for how confusing it is. You see, this man seems to be climbing up this well with 2 heavy rocks on his back, a feat that would be difficult for even the most in-shape person you could find. But many are saying that the video is reversed, because when he steps, he seems to leave no trace.
Have you ever wondered why crocodiles look like they're crying while eating their prey? Many people believe crocodiles fake sadness during a hunt, but that's actually not true. The truth behind crocodile tears is something most people don't know. I'll tell you, but first, if your dad is your real-life superhero, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. When crocodile...
This is how blind people write and read without seeing the paper. They do it by placing a thick paper under a special board, then use a stylus to press dots in the correct positions, creating different patterns that each stand for a letter in the alphabet. But if you notice, they write everything from right to left. That's because each dot is pushed in from the back of the page. So once the page...
This girl caught on camera playing an imaginary hopscotch on the tiles. When the store owner saw this, he came up with an idea to make her a real one. And when the girl came back, she started playing right away. But what the store owner never expected was when a grown man entered and scanned the place for cameras like he was about to steal something. And he did. He stole a moment to be a...
Fail. And then you win. Greatness demands.
Which handcuffs are the strongest?
Seeing this little kitten riding a scooter, another kitten also wanted to ride one, but he was still very small, so the owner brought him a toy truck. However, the kitten didn't like it at all and immediately refused to sit in the truck. Seeing this, the owner got him a scooter too. The kitten was happily riding around on it, but as soon as the owner increased the speed, he got...
Have you ever wondered when a baby elephant is tied with a rope, it can't break free because it's simply too weak at that time? But when it grows into a powerful adult that could easily snap that rope, why doesn't it even try to escape? Before I tell you the reason, if you're not an elephant, hit like and subscribe. Only real humans can do it, because it still believes it can't break.
Look, this girl fell off her mom's bike and the car behind lost control and ran her over. Her mom screamed and rushed to her daughter who was trapped under the car. The whole street filled with her cries for help, and she tried to stop the car from moving because her daughter's finger was stuck under the wheel. A woman in a red shirt ran over and laid down under the car just to calm the little girl. She quickly ran back to her restaurant and told all her...
Congratulations, you're moving to the next level. Your next opponent is... you. Congratulations, you're moving to the next level.
They say if you crash into a snowplow, the car will split into 2 perfect halves and you will survive. So these YouTubers tested this in real life. They prepared 2 cars, one with the front engine and another with the rear, and set up a sharp snowplow blade. First, they fired the front engine car. Hitting the snowplow, the engine took...
If you don't feel like studying, these 3 pens will make you fall in love with learning, and the last pen might even help you become the topper of your class.
Oh my god!
But before that, if you're a girl, smash the like button, and if you're a boy, don't forget to subscribe. Number 1, long pen. Check out this amazing long pen. When you gently pull it with your hands, it becomes super long.
This puppy was born so small that everyone thought he wouldn't survive. His own mother left him behind because he was only the size of a thumb. But this kind man refused to give up on him. He prepared a special tiny bath just for him and washed him gently with a single finger. The puppy felt so safe that he stayed perfectly still in the warm water. Then he was placed in a luxury mini bathtub to dry off like a king. But sadly, no one gave...
Mistakenly tossed her drink into the swimming pool.
This guy thought he was entering a normal water slide until everything suddenly went wrong. His friend stayed outside laughing while he climbed inside alone. Then the side door slammed shut and the floor dropped beneath him without warning. He fell deep into a dark tunnel with water rushing all around him. At first it felt fun, but the slide kept going longer and longer. Then he started slowing down until he got completely stuck in the darkness. A tiny light appeared ahead and he instantly thought it was the exit. He slowly moved toward it, hoping he was finally safe. But the second he got closer, something terrifying happened instead. I'll show you. But first, what slide would you want to try with your...
This is how refrigerators were built back in the 1950s. Instead of normal shelves, these fridges had rotating trays that made it easier to reach items in the back. By pressing a button, the shelves would unlock, allowing you to manually spin them around until they snapped back into place. The fridge also came with built-in butter storage and a freezer compartment at the...
This girl had no time to lose when she was given an order to make a T-Rex cake in just 30 minutes. After making the dinosaur on the butter paper, she started placing pancakes, making it look super ugly. But as soon as she turned the cake upside down, everything made sense all at once. This girl had no time to lose when she was given an order to make a T-Rex cake in just 30
Bird owners must be extremely careful with new feathers, because when a bird is growing new feathers called pin feathers, they are still inside a hard protective sheath, so birds sometimes need a little help from their owner to open them. But if a pin feather looks slightly red, never touch it, because it still has blood vessels inside, and breaking it can make the bird bleed. Bird owners must be extremely careful with new.
In this world, everyone was made of gold, except for one girl whose body was made of wood. She wanted to be friends with others, but no one accepted her. One day, she suddenly fell and her arm broke. Frightened, she ran away and sat alone. While sadly looking at her broken arm, she noticed a shooting star in the sky. She made a wish to become gold like everyone else. At that very moment, a golden arm fell.
Look, this is why you should never celebrate a birthday inside a car. As soon as this woman rolled down the window, she removed the number 39 that was stuck on it. Then she quickly blew out the birthday candle and rolled the window back up. Everyone standing outside assumed the number 39 would still be there. But when the window fully closed, the number had magically changed from 39 to...
Even though this guy lost the competition, he walked away with something bigger than the trophy. During the final round, his arms started shaking, barely able to hold the 70-pound hammer. Everyone thought he'd want his opponent to slip, but instead he started cheering for him, and that changed.
If you drive a car, these 3 gadgets are worth a look, and believe me, you will definitely love the last one. But first, if you aren't an alien, hit like and subscribe. Number 3, the Smart Engine Start button. Do you want your car to look more luxurious? This gives you... The gadget offers a push-to-start experience with a modern and...
Look, today this guy finally got his dad to buy him his first bike at 18. And from that moment on, he started doing absolutely everything using his new bike. Even when he wanted to get something from the fridge, he'd pedal all the way to the kitchen. Then when it was time to go to the gym, he'd even take the bike onto the treadmill. And he wouldn't even get off to go up the stairs. In fact, he'd even pedal to his...
When the baby is crying uncontrollably, just one slice of watermelon is enough to calm him down. Once the sweet taste hits his mouth, the crying stops. His attention gets completely taken over by the delicious watermelon. When the baby is crying uncontrollably, just one slice of watermelon is enough to calm him down. Once the sweet taste hits his mouth...
Look, when this girl tried to pull out the sacred sword, it came out easily, because only someone with a pure heart and God's blessing can pull it out. But when this guy tried to pull the sword, it didn't budge at all. After that, a lot of people tried, but nobody could get it out. If you believe in God, give this video a like. Look, when this girl tried to pull out the sacred sword, it came out easily. Never feel like this Japanese goldfish scooping game is deceiving you. It could be that you just don't know the trick yet. Most people fail not because the game is rigged, but because they are too aggressive when catching the fish. In fact, the net used is made of thin paper and tears easily when it hits the water. The secret is you just need to be more patient. Dip the net into the water slowly. Don't chase them, let the fish approach and swim right over the net. After that,
this couple wanted to make their wedding cake ceremony extra special. So instead of having one normal cake, they chose to have a communal cake that everyone could enjoy together. And at first, the couple added cocoa powder together all over the cake, and then everyone joined in by cutting slices of the cake and taking some for themselves. This couple wanted to make their wedding cake.
Look, this guy is always giving his girlfriend rings in the strangest ways. Sometimes he gives her snacks as rings, sometimes he gives her toys as rings, and once he even used his car keys as a stand-in. When they went to the ski resort, he simply drew a circle on the ice, as if he were proposing. As a result, his girlfriend began to feel that she might never receive a real ring, until one
This man works at a zoo, and every day he has to feed the tigers. Although he starts with the hippos first. Since he knows their favorite food is watermelon, he always brings them a big one, and the hippo enjoys it like it's the best thing in the world. Then he throws fruit to the bears.
This is also day 2. This is the amount of sticks we picked up from either the piles down there or across the river. We're going to start building the wall and the foundation of the fort now. Goodbye. This is also day 2.
Never make the mistake of pointing a laser at the sky. If you do that, an airplane could end up crashing because of you. By pointing it upward, there is a chance of hitting the pilot's eyes directly, temporarily affecting their vision and causing the aircraft to lose control. But do not worry, it will only crash on top of anyone who doesn't leave a like on the video. Never make the mistake of pointing a laser at the sky. If you do that, an airplane could end up crashing because of you. By pointing it upward, there is a chance of hitting the pilot.
Why do school bus are painted yellow? Like, why can't they be pink? Well, the reason behind this was actually way smarter than you think. But if you ever been in a bus, like and subscribe. So you see, out of all color, yellow provide maximum visibility among...
This mom thought she found a bed bug, but the reveal was priceless.
Oh my God, can somebody help me figure out what kind of bed bug this is?
This mom thought she found a bed bug.
While the wedding preparations were underway, the groom asked her to dress more simply before going out to dinner with his family. But that's not exactly what happened. It turned out that the groom's family hated flashy displays of wealth, while the bride's father was none other than a billionaire Arab sheikh. Because of that, he spared no expense when buying clothes for his daughter and ended up bringing—
Let's play a little game! Bella, you go first. Wow, so brave!
Hold on. Stop praising her already. I can do that too.
All right, then you give it a shot.
Huh? Oh, hell no. Are you trying to kill me here?
Let's play a little game! Bella, you go first. Wow, so brave!
Hold on.
When her parents told her they might have to sell her horse, she ran outside and broke down in tears. But her horse noticed she was upset and came over to comfort.
Restaurants secretly engineer their ice so you get addicted to their drinks. You might think expensive restaurants use special filtered water, but you'd be completely wrong. Because the real difference is how the ice freezes. Since at home, your freezer chills the water from all sides at once, trapping tiny air bubbles inside the cube as it hardens, making your ice look white and cloudy. But restaurant ice machines
This care home organized a special event for its residents called the Wheelchair Wash. They lined everyone up and carefully cleaned each wheelchair one by one. When it was over, each resident rolled through a bright rainbow arc.
Dale gato! Oye, c'è il gatto! Oh, yeah! Bravo! Dale gato! Dito meglio nere! Like it, do ingrediente! Can I like? Yeah! Veloz! Ah, bebo!
Look, when this teacher arrived at school early in the morning, she noticed that the electricity had suddenly gone out throughout the entire school. All the students sitting in the class were using notebooks as their fans, so the teacher came up with a genius idea. She played a video of a powerful fan thinking she could trick the students, but they got angry and nobody liked her. Look, when this teacher arrived—
Carbon fiber is used in sports gear like hockey sticks and bats because it's extremely strong yet lightweight. Made from woven carbon strands and resin, it can be up to 5 times stronger than steel. This helps athletes swing faster without getting tired, while also preventing the equipment from breaking under stress. Carbon fiber is used in sports gear like hockey sticks and—
This girl went to a fish pond packed with fish.
This guy was minding his own business when someone stepped on his brand new shoes, and he instantly felt dizzy. Out of nowhere, an investigator arrived to examine.
This girl bought an ice cream, but her boyfriend wanted a little bit too. So she broke off the small tip of the cone and handed it to him. Then the guy excitedly went to the vendor to ask them to fill the mini cone with ice cream too. When they saw it, everyone stared in confusion, but in the end they agreed to fill it. And while the vendor kept adding more ice cream, the guy got more and more excited like a—
This reporter saw a woman illegally moving into someone's house, so he moved in with her as well to help the owner get the house back. The owner, Sarah, had been away for a month when a homeless woman named Lynn broke in and started living there, and because of squatter laws, police claimed they couldn't remove her. Things escalated after Sarah said Lynn threatened to stab her during an argument.
First, he carefully studies the design and marks every cut with precision. One mistake here could ruin the entire build. Next comes the carving. Piece by piece, the rough wood starts taking shape as wheels, panels, and details emerge from what looked like an ordinary block. Hours of measuring, cutting, and sanding later.
Did you know some animals mourn their dead just like humans? When a macaque baby dies, the entire troop instantly gathers around the mother to comfort and calm her. For weeks, the heartbroken mother will carry her baby's body, even offering it food as if it were still alive. She will fiercely protect the body from anyone who gets too close, refusing to let go. Even as the body—
América, Nepal.
Little girl spots something shiny.
When the son was leaving for school today, he jumped into the auto rickshaw before his mom. When she tried to get in, he blocked her and said, "Today I'm sitting on the whole seat by myself." Dad laughed when he saw this, but mom was starting to get angry. So dad said, "Come sit in the front and let this little guy sit in the back." As soon as mom sat in the front, dad started driving in a way that made—
Look,
This boy went crazy punching his little brother because when they were alone at home, he saw his brother choking. He quickly turned him on his back and started pressing on his lungs, not realizing he was doing it wrong. He then asked if he was okay, but there was no answer. He panicked and kept hitting harder, but the little boy fell to the floor and he desperately begged him to cough, to wake up, to be okay. But when he finally made sure his brother
When this man got injured, he decided to take help from his clever dog. He placed some money into a small basket and told his dog to go to the store and get medicine. After receiving the instructions, the dog quickly ran to the pharmacy. However, when the dog arrived there, the pharmacist couldn't understand what kind of medicine he needed. So the dog lifted his leg and acted as if it was injured.
Before you teach your puppy any command, understand this. Your puppy is not stubborn. They're confused. Training isn't about control. It's about clarity. If your puppy isn't listening, ask yourself, am I being consistent? Puppies learn through repetition. If one person says sit, another says sit down, and someone else...
This woman never showed her face to her husband because she always believed she wasn't beautiful enough and feared that if he ever saw her, he might stop loving her. For years, she stayed hidden, terrified of how he would react. But when their wedding day finally arrived, she made a decision that changed everything. She was finally ready to reveal her face and show.
This teacher walked into the classroom and unexpectedly started inspecting every student. But instead of finding any phones, all she came across were piles of chopsticks, while the class monitor was the one getting blamed. The rest of the students quickly hid their phones since nothing suspicious turned up. The teacher left and every...
When this girl finally met her imprisoned mom, fear took over the moment her mom reached out for a hug, causing her to step back. Her dad didn't understand what was happening, and her mom was left heartbroken. After the door closed, the officer gave the mom her own coat so she wouldn't look frightening. She changed and decided to try again.
Okay, let's make the broccoli rabe for topping for tomorrow. So I chopped up the broccoli rabe and I salted it, put it in here, and now we're steaming it just for a couple minutes. Actually, that's done. Then I'm going to cool it off, rinse it off with cold water, squeeze it out, throw it in the pan.
He walked into a Bugatti dealership, but got kicked out before he could even touch the car. When Carl was finally ready to spend millions on his dream Bugatti, he visits a dealership where the staff treats him like an absolute VIP, letting him sit inside and check out every detail. But there was one big problem. The car came only in white.
This little guy went to his favorite water park, but got a big shock when he arrived. None of the slides had any water. Feeling disappointed, he scooped some water from the ground and tried to make the slide slippery, but without proper water flow, he moved very slowly. So he used his hands and legs to slide through the dark tunnel. It was not fun at all. After a long time, he saw the light.
This mug was designed to punish you for being greedy, because at first, it looks completely normal. So if you pour a normal amount, it acts like a regular mug, and you can enjoy your drink. But the moment you get greedy and try to fill it all the way to the top, the drink secretly fills the hidden tube inside the handle. And once it reaches the top of the tube, it creates a siphon that forces every single drop to drain out the bottom.
Esta paleta es en realidad un altavoz.
Stop, Max. Why are you trying to get in the water? Do you want to help the cat? Come on, go and save it. Come on, Max, you can do it. Pull the cat out of the water. I'm right here with you. Good job, you finally did it. The cat is wet and cold. What are we going to do now? Like the video so I can adopt the cat. Stop, Max. Why are you trying to get in the water? Do you want to help the cat? Come on, go and save it. Come on, Max, you can do it. Pull the cat out of the water. I'm right here with you. Good job.
My sister and I were playing together when I spotted a massive dog charging straight at her, ready to attack. I screamed at her to run, but because she's afraid of dogs, she completely froze. So I threw myself at the dog and fought it off until she got to safety. I woke up in a hospital bed with the scars covering my face, and when my dad in tears was asking me why I did it,
Hey, you poor old man, look at this. I'm putting a rotten duck in your net. Now not a single fish is going to come.
Oh, Freya dear, it doesn't work like that. I've been catching fish with this same rotten duck for 55 years.
Oh, come on, old man. That's not gonna change anything. Not a single fish will get into your net.
All right, Freya dear, but what if they do?
If your star-shaped party balloon ever bursts, don't try to fix it with tape because it usually ends up looking bad. Instead, this girl came up with a clever solution. She cuts a small opening in one corner, uses a spoon to push a regular balloon inside, and once it's fully in place, she inflates it with a pump, making it look even better than before. If your star-shaped party balloon ever bursts, don't try to fix
This man was kicked out of his house by his wife. She even threw his clothes outside, and he had no idea where he would sleep that night. Then he looked toward his dog's room. It had a TV and even air conditioning, but when he tried to enter, the door was locked. It only opened with the dog's Face ID. Without wasting time, he picked up one of his dogs and held it in front of the scanner. The door opened instantly, and
Even if you did your best, you'd never sink in these waters, because this is the Dead Sea, a place where nature added so much salt that the water became extremely salty and dense. This increases the buoyancy, so even if someone tried to sink on purpose, they wouldn't be able to. They'd just float like a cork in the water. But
in Pakistan, there is a surprising everyday practice. People sometimes put banknotes into washing machines for cleaning. The reason is that the local currency is mainly made from cotton and linen fibers, which are tightly woven and have low water absorption, so they can usually withstand a gentle wash without damage. The purpose is not about making the money look cleaner, but mainly about hygiene and public health. And it can also help with detecting counterfeit.
watch as this guy removed his sister's bicycle seat and tossed it into the fire. Then he went to his friend's place and brought back a chair. After that, using a drill, he made a hole right through the center and fixed it where the bike seat used to be. Not only that, he even took the handle off his grandfather's scooter and attached it onto this bicycle. Now, instead of a tiny saddle, it had a big...
Ella quiso acelerar el tratamiento y terminó en urgencias.
This girl added a little too much base, which ruined the whole titration. And honestly, this is the part where almost everyone fails, because if you add even a tiny bit more base, the solution is going to turn dark pink, while the actual color you are looking for at the end point is a very faint light pink. This girl added a little too much base, which ruined the whole titration. And honestly, this is the part where almost everyone fails, because if you add even a tiny bit more base, the solution is going to turn dark pink, while the actual color you are looking for at the end point is a very faint light pink. This girl added a little too much base, which ruined the whole...
Why can this robot be controlled like something a movie? China has introduced the GD01, a transformable mecha robot that can actually be ridden and controlled by a human. Developed by Unitree Robotics, it's being promoted as one of the world's first mass-produced manned mechas. From breaking walls to picking coconuts, this robot can handle it all. And if you...
Does Red Tate have a code on his forehead? How did you know I wanted this, Blue Tate? I'm going to scan it again. Just one moment, Red. There you go. A giant Coca-Cola. You just guessed what I want again. And one more time. Do you want a brand new iPhone 17? Oh, I had to buy...
This is why you should always run slowly in a race, because when this tortoise and the hare were set up for a race, the tortoise did something that proved everyone wrong. And as they started the race, everyone thought the hare would win. But the tortoise kept moving slow and steady without getting distracted, while the hare would run a few meters and get distracted. But as the tortoise kept its slow pace, it won the race, proving that slow and steady wins the race. This is why you should always run slowly in a race, because when this tortoise and the hare were set up for a race, the tortoise did something that proved everyone wrong. And as they started the race, everyone thought the hare would win. But the tortoise kept moving slow and steady without getting distracted, while the hare would run a few meters and get distracted. But as the tortoise kept its slow pace, it won the race, proving that slow and steady wins the race. This is why you should...
If you think a giant trampoline...
This security guard is terrorized every night. Whenever he works as a guard at a nuclear power plant, he has to securely lock all the holes in the facility. At first, people laughed at him and said it was all fake. So to prove it was real, he decided to open one of the holes. That was when everyone realized there really was a mutant inside the place. And he said that this creature will appear in the bedroom of anyone.
Stop peeling your dry lips. Pulling the skin off damages the protective layer underneath, causing bleeding and painful cracks. Instead, apply a thin layer of honey or lip balm to heal them safely. Don't pick just hydrate. Stop peeling your dry lips. Pulling the skin off damages the protective layer underneath, causing bleeding and painful cracks. Instead, apply a thin layer of honey or lip balm to heal them safely. Don't pick just hydrate.
Their coach punished them to put eggs under their feet while fighting. And when they kept making the same mistake, their coach came up with an evil solution. Because the goal is to get them used to staying light on their feet, which is really important to any good fighter. But when even the eggs weren't enough to make them understand, the coach only replaced the eggs with Legos at first, thinking it was pretty obvious that nobody was going to step on those. And while he would be...
The sharpest and most powerful weapon in the world is water. It sounds impossible, but...
At home, the girl is a cake chef, but once she goes outside, she instantly becomes a killer. On the battlefield with a machine gun, no one can defeat her. Just now, the girl was baking a cake at home. She walked and danced happily. She tasted the purple cream. The flavor was a little light, but it could not...
People got mad at this guy for exposing the truth about eating expired chips, because when he did an experiment where he let a bag of Doritos sit for weeks after being opened, he took some out and put them under a microscope, and what he found were tiny white bugs crawling everywhere, because once...
This greedy bird tries to eat anything it sees. Right now, it has a duckling in its beak. Actually, this is a pelican, which normally eats fish, but when it gets very hungry, it doesn't care what's in front of it and tries to eat almost anything it shouldn't. It can go to such extremes for food that
When the bride tossed her bouquet at the wedding, it hit the ceiling and fell straight down into the DJ's hands. He tried to throw it back up for her but kept missing. Eventually he got it back to her, so she tried again, lined up and gave it another toss. When the bride tossed her bouquet at the wedding, it hit the ceiling and fell straight down into the DJ's hands.
This student impressed the entire school.
Never make the mistake of putting this type of tarp on your roof, because when this woman stole it on her house when night came.
A delivery rider noticed that the sign at the entrance.
Wait, it's stuck.
Yeah, hold on.
This couple had a baby on the way, so he puts his wife in a box, removes the cover and slowly moves her belly away from the box while she stands completely calm.
Did ancient Chinese warriors really use a throwing weapon capable of instantly beheading their enemies? Since no original specimens survive today, the team designed 3 prototypes, each taking a different approach. Tori made a steel ring with sharpened edges designed to spin at high speed. Carrie built a mini guillotine activated by a pull cord.
Why are track bikes so hard to ride? They use a massive gear ratio. One pedal turn can spin the rear wheels several times. That helps riders reach insane speeds on the track. But it also makes starting brutally difficult. And since the bike has a fixed gear, there's no coasting. If the bike moves, your legs have to move with it. That's why pros often need a start gate or a teammate's push.
I was just thinking, why is there still a war in Ukraine? I thought Donald Trump was going to solve that on day one. I was just thinking, why is there still a war in Ukraine? I thought Donald Trump was going to solve that on day one.
It looks like it's running on the treadmill. Now I'm going to knock it down. Take this.
Oh no, what happened?
It fell. That was so funny. Now I'm going to take a nice bath.
I'm going to mix bleach here. It will turn white.
I finished bathing.
I made a castle for the little turtle.
I'm going to cut it down.
I made a castle for the little crab.
I'm still going to cut it down.
I made a castle for the octopus.
I'll slice, slice, and slice.
Hey Nancy, you are going too far. Best friends should respect each other. Why are you destroying them?
Oh, Alex, these little animals all love.
Hey, babe.
Huh?
Did you know that zip line is the longest in the world?
Yes, I do.
I dare you to go on it and scream, nothing beats a Jet2 holiday, all the way down the mountain.
You can save 50 pounds per person.
This girl was surprised when she noticed that her classmate had brought nothing but plain white rice for lunch. Feeling sorry for him, she gave him a piece of her chicken. But instead of eating it, the boy only ate the rice and saved the chicken to take home. Curious, Sydney decided to follow him after school. That's when she discovered the reason. The chicken wasn't for him, it was for his father, who was seriously ill.
When these students grew up studying at the same school, a special challenge was held during the annual function. All the students stood in a line with a huge pillar in front of them, but this wasn't an ordinary pillar. The school believed that whoever crossed it had officially grown up and was ready to say goodbye to school, but still nobody liked them. When these students grew up studying at this boy's mom told him to study until all the candles went out. The moment he started reading, 2 candles went out right away. After he finished one page and turned to the next, a 3rd candle went out too. Then his glasses got foggy, so he took them off and blew on them to clean them, accidentally putting out another candle. When a mosquito started flying around him, he chased it around until every single candle was gone. This boy's mom told him to
Watch how this dad handled his daughter's mistake. Because when this little girl threw a snowball at a worker, he immediately stepped in.
Oh, hey, that wasn't nice. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Hey, you can't throw it at people.
But right after they got farther away from the worker, what he told her next is exactly.
Have you ever wondered why pulling the pin on a grenade doesn't make it explode instantly? That's because the pin isn't what keeps the grenade safe. The real safety mechanism is the metal lever on the side, often called the spoon. As long as you're holding that lever down, the grenade can't activate even if the pin is already removed. When you let go, the lever springs away, releasing a striker.
Think your dating life is toxic? Check out these freshwater stingrays.
Look, this little boy came to a pond.
This roof has no pillars underneath, no beams, no columns, and no visible support. So why doesn't it collapse? The secret is an old technique called a Catalan vault. Builders place thin bricks one by one in a curved shape. Each brick supports the next as the mortar dries. And once the curve is complete, the whole roof locks itself together. Instead of pushing straight
A single hug could get you a free Coke. Yep, this Coca-Cola vending machine called Hug Me will only dispense a free ice-cold can if you hug it really tightly. Equipped with special sensors on both sides, it was designed to spread happiness to people who feel stressed or lonely. But it looks like this machine might not work for small children. Do you know why?
What is this? Strange noises are coming from the fridge. Oh my god, what is a mermaid doing in my fridge?
Who are you? Stay away from me right now.
No, why did you do this to me? You deserved it.
Stop. Please don't throw me in the toilet. I won't do it again. Like the video to save me.
What is this? Strange noises are coming from the fridge. Oh my god, what is a mermaid doing in my fridge?
Who are you? Stay away from me right now.
No, why did you do this to me? You deserved it.
Stop. Please don't throw me in the toilet.
Look, while this girl put tape on her mouth and added lipstick to look cool, this guy was amazed, so he immediately bought tape online too. But he made a big mistake because when he stuck it on his mouth and added lipstick, he suddenly started panicking. The tape he bought online was super sticky and needed a special liquid to remove it. So instead of looking cool, it looked like he had 2 mouths. Now he just uses a straw to drink and has to wait 3 days for it.
This guy went to the store and started messing with the cashier by going straight to...
This man was walking his dog in the park, but he had no idea that the police were right behind him. Since he was wearing headphones, he could not hear the siren or the officers asking for space to pass. Luckily, his dog warned him in time, and the officer's reaction was hilarious. Now, they are going to arrest everyone who doesn't leave a like on the video. This man was walking...
This is why waiters sprint to your table the moment you order this ice cream. Some people think it's because the ice cream melts too fast, but that's not actually the reason. If you like ice cream, subscribe. You've probably seen this liquid chocolate turn solid almost instantly when it touches the ice cream. The chocolate hardens within seconds when it hits the cold ice cream, creating that crunchy outer shell.
Nobody expected Beat It on a Pan Flute, but she played it like original vibes.
Most passengers choose the wrong seat on a plane. The back of the aircraft might be cheaper, but it usually feels the most turbulence and takes the longest to exit. The front is quieter and more comfortable, but those seats often cost extra, so where's the best place to sit? I'll explain, but if you're on the side of the angels, tap like, hit subscribe, then share this video. If not, you might already be on...
Need to pee right after waking up? Don't jump out of bed too fast. Most people do it without thinking, but it can leave you feeling dizzy in seconds. So what's actually happening? I'll explain, but if you've ever peed before, tap like, hit subscribe, then share.
Giving your dog a tennis ball to play with is a dangerous mistake that can kill them. You might think it's just a cheap and safe chew toy, but you'd be completely wrong. Because hidden underneath that yellow fuzz is a car tire straight from the trash. Since instead of using clean materials, factories take worn-out tires, shred them into tiny pieces, and mix them with silicone to press them into shape. Then they coat the whole thing.
Look, when this girl tried to enter this sacred place, it suddenly started filling with water, because it's believed that only someone pure and blessed by God can step inside. But the moment an impure person tries to enter, the seawater rises and takes over, leaving only the pure able to remain there. If you believe in God, drop a like. Look, when this girl tried to enter this sacred place, it suddenly started filling with water, because it's believed that only someone pure and blessed by God can step inside. But the moment an impure person If you see this, do not touch it. But if we touch, then what will happen next? If you like the video, this won't happen to you. You've probably seen this in forests or sometimes on old walls. As soon as you touch it, millions of tiny black balls start to move. These are called daddy longlegs, which only eat mosquitoes. If you see this, do not touch it. But if we touch, then what will happen next?
If the famous glass bridges in China suddenly crack, many people think they'd instantly fall thousands of feet. But that's not actually how it works. These bridges are not made from just one thin piece of glass that could easily break. They are built from multiple...
You won't believe how these two friends made money. They discovered that golf course ponds were filled with thousands of lost golf balls hidden underwater for years. So they put on wetsuits and started diving. At first it seemed like a crazy idea, but every dive brought up bags full of golf balls. It was so heavy they could barely walk. After a whole day of hard work, they collected over... Once this magnet sticks, no one can separate it because it is the most powerful magnet in the world, called a neodymium magnet. Its power is so strong that it can crush a hand into pulp. Two magnets stick together with so much force that they can even break, and it'll stick to those who do not like and subscribe. Once this magnet sticks, no one can separate it because it is the most powerful magnet in the world, called a neodymium magnet. Its power is so strong that it can crush a hand into pulp. Two magnets stick together with so much force that they can even break. And
most people think a katana cuts through anything just because it's sharp, but that's wrong. A katana is thin, which makes it fast and deadly, but also easier to bend if you swing it badly or hit something too hard. That's why cutting with one isn't about raw strength. It's about angle, speed, and control. A beginner can struggle to slice something as simple as paper, while someone trained can cut cleanly with almost no effort. And a true master doesn't even need a sharp blade. They can make the cut with wood. Most people think a katana cuts through anything just
3 things in Japan that surprise outsiders. First, in Japan, they have a smart solution for oily food. This special piece of paper is designed to soak up excess oil from soups, ramen, and noodles.
This bench is basically China's version of Tinder. If you've been struggling to find someone special, you might want to give this bench a try. When 2 people truly like each other, they sit on opposite sides, and the bench slowly tips, gently bringing them closer together. But if one person isn't interested, they can just hold on to the bench to keep themselves from sliding over. There are also rare moments when both people weigh the same, and gravity just...
This girl was being chased by the police, but what they did not know was that she was a professional parkour athlete. What seemed like an easy capture turned into something extremely difficult. Even though they never stopped chasing her, she always found a way to escape with impressive jumps. And after many attempts, she finally managed to get away. And now the police are going after everyone who doesn't leave a like. This girl was being chased.
Be honest, you're probably going to watch this video and still not subscribe. Not because you hate the content, but because you think your one click doesn't matter. That's exactly why most small creators stay small. Thousands watch, but almost nobody supports early. And later those same people say, I remember this channel before it got big. So if you're just another viewer...
What are those strange lines on escalator steps actually for? Most people think they're there to give your shoes extra grip, but that's not the real reason at all. Those tiny grooves are part of a hidden safety system that helps prevent dangerous accidents. So what do they actually do? But before I tell you, if you don't want your shoelaces getting stuck in an escalator, tap the like button, click subscribe.
Esta chica cometió un error garrafal.
This boy had just finished eating and was about to toss the wrapper when a girl suddenly stopped him. Excuse me, could I please have that piece of paper? The boy did not mind at all, so he handed it over to her. Then he saw her take the leftover grease from the paper and wipe it into her pan. After that, she called the vendor. Sir, could I please have this eggshell? The vendor thought it... There's a sad reason why this owner bought a tiny bed. Ever since he was a kitten, he slept beside her every night. But after she got married, there was no space left on the bed, and the little guy didn't have where to sleep. The owner bought a small bed for the kitten instead. Immediately, there was a problem. The bed was way too small, and only half the cat's body could fit. The owner
Look at this guy. Before leaving home for an entire week, he carefully hid his house key between 2 rocks. He was completely convinced that no one would ever find it, and that his house would stay perfectly safe. But when he returned a week later, disaster struck. He couldn't remember which 2 rocks he had hidden the key between. Panicking, he started checking. Here are 3 baby products parents should never buy, unless they want a happier baby. First, if you're a girl, tap the like button. But if you're a boy, don't forget to subscribe. Number 3, baby head protection pillow. Babies often fall backward while learning to sit or crawl. This soft pillow helps cushion small bumps and keeps them safer while they explore. Number 2, activity play gym. Just place your baby on the mat and watch what happens. Colorful toys, sounds, and movement instantly grab their attention. It keeps them entertained while...
2023, the Chinese built a huge...
Lord, thank you for the people, timing, and small moments you placed in this day. Some things worked out in ways I didn't expect, and I know your hand was in that. Thank you for keeping me steady through the hours and helping me respond with wisdom instead of rushing. As I rest tonight,
I tried to remove the mother worm's body from the middle of the road, but then I found her live cub in her pouch. If I left it there, the cub wouldn't survive. I brought the little one home, fed it milk and gave it love and warmth, developing a strong bond. Every day I weighed the tiny one to see if it would...
Indian people are successful because of one reason only. They have grit. To work in America, Indians have to find a company to sponsor them, win a visa lottery, wait months for processing, then wait up to a year just for an interview. And if they want to stay permanently, the green card backlog is so bad that people filing today will never get one in their entire...
Never ever make the mistake of driving your car into this giant soapy pit, because getting back out can be way harder than it looks. But if you're not an earthworm, tap like and subscribe. This is called Soap Pit Challenge. The goal is to drive into the pit and then escape while soap keeps pouring down, making the car slip and slide everywhere. Even then,
a Category 4 hurricane was 40 miles out when Marcus Webb unlocked his hotel doors and told every displaced family on the street to come inside. Free. No charge. No paperwork. Just beds.
If you are fishing and a giant snake like this comes toward you, do not panic. If you keep throwing it backward, it will always come back to your boat because it has a very small brain and will always follow the direction of its own.
Look, when this little girl comes to buy a TV with her family for the very first time, these are the craziest Volvo advert stunts in history. These are the crazy...
Apache Junction is in...
Here are 3 dolls that are actually banned for children, and the last one is very liked by your dad. First, if you are still a child, tap the like button. But if you are already an adult, don't forget to subscribe. First, Cabbage Patch Doll. This toy became famous all over the world because its mouth could eat anything nearby, which eventually led to it being pulled from the market.
The girl fell off a horse by accident. She felt wronged and walked to her father in tears, but the horse seemed to understand and ran after her, as if apologizing. Realizing this, she gave it another chance. This time the horse was very gentle. Then they spent warm and sweet times together. As time went by, the girl turned 13. When she saw her
When this girl saw tears falling from the eyes of a sacred statue, she gently wiped them away, knowing it was built in memory of women who suffered at the hands of soldiers in Japan. It is believed that if a pure-hearted person wipes its tears, God blesses them. Yet no matter how many try, the tears never stop falling, as if carrying the pain of
This is how actors fall downstairs without getting injured, because instead of using a real...
Why do cops love donuts? Like, can't they eat other foods rather than just donuts? So why are they doing... When this woman goes to her friend's house, she's complete... Why do cops love donuts? Like, can't they eat other foods rather than just donuts? So why are they doing this? And why is this so important? I'll tell you. But if you love donuts, like and subscribe. So back then when cops patrol on night shifts, there's almost no shops available. When this woman goes to her friend's house, she's completely shocked and wonders how anyone could possibly live in this house. Because while most homes are built in a normal way, this house was completely upside down, and even inside it, everything from the bed to the toilet was hanging upside down. But then her friend quickly explains that it's actually a tourist attraction where people come just to visit and check it out. So she deserves a like? When this woman goes to her friend in China, they hate fat people and will do anything. When this woman goes to her friend,
Look at this driver girl. Today, she was about to do something special. Her driver husband had been on a long journey, and both of them were feeling very hungry. So she started preparing momos. Within a short time, she filled and shaped them perfectly. After that, the husband and wife fried the momos together. Once they were ready, they happily enjoyed the delicious meal. During their long trip,
dogs love digging.
he was never supposed to play again in
This boy accidentally fell into a deep sewer pipe inside an abandoned building, and when he hit the water, the powerful current swept him away for nearly a mile, leaving him trapped in complete darkness. Over 100 rescuers searched the pipes using floating cameras, but there was still no sign of the boy. Then after 12 hours, something happened that
Look, when the two brothers bought new axes, the older brother chose the cheap one while the younger brother bought the expensive axe. Then, the younger brother challenged him to see who could cut the thick log in fewer hits. First, the older brother started striking the wood with his cheap axe and split the log into 2 pieces in just 5 hits. But even with his $10,000 expensive axe,
what went so wrong with this man that he is avoiding touching the receipt? But it's not just this man. Many people avoid touching receipts as if there's a ghost inside them. However, in reality, they do this because when a new receipt is printed and comes out, it is printed with hot ink. The thermal coating can contain a chemical that, if touched, can affect your hormones. What went so wrong with this man that
This bear saw a man with a honey bun and did something unbelievable. He started waving his paw like a little child, begging for a taste. But the man was confused on how to reach him across the fence. Suddenly, the bear looked up, signaling to just throw it. Surprisingly, he caught it perfectly in midair. And because he was such a good boy, everyone liked the video. This bear saw a man with a honey bun and these seniors were walking down the hallway on their graduation day. But one little girl kept asking everyone for high fives because it was her older sister's batch. But when her sister's best friend spotted her, they all stopped to give her hugs one by one. And one of them even quickly pulled her in for a hug. But the best part was when she finally got a big hug from her sister. Does she deserve a like? These seniors were walking.
A hungry couple was sitting when a man threw a notebook near them. The girl picked it up and drew bread and it became real. Then she drew money, and that became real too. She gave some money to the boy and left. She kept making more money and started enjoying life with new boys. Slowly all her money started.
This special boy just lost his grandma and had no words to express his grief. So he picked up a hammer and started tapping glass thousands of times by hand to make something really special for her. Tap by tap, her face slowly appeared on the glass, and the final result left everyone completely speechless. This special boy just lost his grandma and had no words to express his grief. So he picked up a hammer and started tapping.
Watch this! It's going to fly super high!
3, 2, 1.
Look, as this woman was getting ready to place her gifts into the water, she noticed a little girl watching the basket of money very closely. So she quickly pulled the money back toward herself. The girl immediately looked nervous and thought something was wrong. But the woman had actually noticed a nearby man trying to steal the money and stopped him just in time. Then, after everything was over, she surprised everyone by giving If you like eating snow, you should stop now, or you might regret it forever. Many people think snow is clean because it's white and falls straight from the sky, but the truth is very different than you think. But if you've never eaten snow, like and subscribe. Actually, when snow falls, it captures dust pollution and tiny particles in the air before landing on the ground. And when scientists look at snow under a microscope,
If you ever see someone doing the invisible box challenge, don't think they're actually walking on air. It may look impossible, but there's a clever reason behind it. So, how does the move work? I'll explain. But if you can walk, tap like, and hit subscribe. The trick relies on one foot staying steady while the other moves, as if it's stepping over an invisible box. When done with the right timing and control, it creates.
Look at this cat toy from China that is so sticky right out of the box that workers have to wear plastic gloves just to handle it. And if they touch it without gloves, the whole thing gets ruined instantly. So first, they cover it in foam and rub it all over to remove all the stickiness. And it looks a little silly, but it works perfectly. And once the stickiness is gone, the toy
If you can make this sofa wet, you will win $1 million. This is not an ordinary sofa, but a specially designed waterproof one. If you spill coffee juice or any other drink on it, the liquid simply slides right off the surface immediately without soaking in. No matter how much you pour or how many times you try, the sofa will never get wet and always stays completely dry. Give a like for this image. If you can make this
This parrot was not just a pet.
I've been in my house now for a couple of months, and many of you comment about this huge rock in my backyard. Now, some of you might have noticed this little one behind it. My kids have been using this as a step to climb on top of this thing, but today I got a weird surprise. I was looking around for a valve box, and I noticed when I pushed on it,
everybody got confused when this athlete was about to lose the entire tournament before the competition even started. Because during the women's bouldering finals in 2023, the Japanese climber Ai Mori ran into an unexpected issue, as during the very first climb of the competition, she found out that she couldn't physically reach the starting block because she was too short. And even though the situation already looked hopeless, she had no.
This kid was trying to cut into his birthday cake, but the knife just wasn't going through, so he kept pushing harder and nothing was working. Then his dad stepped in and instead of helping him, lifted the entire top layer of frosting clean off. Underneath wasn't a cake at all. It was a PS5 he'd been asking for years, and his reaction is priceless.
That's why people say you should always listen to your parents. When this boy's parents told him not to go near this muddy area, he ignored their warning and went there to jump around anyway. But he had no idea what a huge mistake he was making. As he kept jumping, his feet started sinking deeper and deeper into the mud. Before long, he was trapped and unable to get out on his own. Luckily, his father reacted.
This is why you should never laugh at your girlfriend. After this girl hit her head on the car seat, her boyfriend did everything he could not to laugh at that moment. Since then, she started watching him all the time to see if he would dare to laugh. But he was very good at it. Even when he went to the fridge, she wouldn't stop watching him. At the coffee shop, he almost laughed, but still managed to hold it in.
This beaver kept blocking the hiking trail until the rangers checked the river upstream. A group of hikers in a national park started complaining about the same thing. Every few days, part of the forest trail would be blocked again. Branches, mud, small sticks piled across the path.
The girl joined military training. She kept making mistakes because she was too short. The instructor demanded that feet stay on the ground, so the girl simply took off her shoes. During the simulated casualty rescue drill, she even pulled off the dummy's head. The next day, she wore height-increasing roller skates. She lost balance and got dragged away right after training started. The instructor thought the roller skates weren't that hard to wear. Soon, he was carried to the infirmary. To avoid embarrassment, she prepared prosthetic limbs. She failed to stand straight after repeated adjustments. Her classmates couldn't help laughing. She had to drag.
In climbing competitions, it's important for a climber to start the climb in the correct starting position. However, at the 2024 Boulder Finals in Innsbruck, almost every athlete was repeatedly called down by the judges. According to IFSC rules, climbers have to secure a stable starting position, but on the final boulder of the competition, climbers repeatedly failed to spot the correct
Have you ever wondered that when a baby snake comes out of its egg, it is believed to be even more dangerous and aggressive than a big snake? This is because when adult snakes bite someone, they can control their venom and release it little by little. But when a baby snake bites, it releases all the venom from its body at once in a single bite.
This challenge looks impossible. The goal is simple. Move the metal ring from one end to the other without touching the wire. The girl got the first turn. She carefully moved the ring through the track. Everything was going well, but then she touched the wire and she failed. Now it was the man's turn. He stepped forward.
This mermaid has one of the most dangerous jobs underwater. This is a performer who spends long periods beneath the surface while making everything look effortless. But here's where it gets interesting.
We hid miniatures in a supermarket, and we'll come back after 24 hours to see if they're still there.
First, I hid the Pringles very well. I hope they don't find them.
I hid the cookies among all the boxes.
Now it's time for my favorite miniature. I love this cereal.
And finally...
Instead of cutting down a tree, this man made it part of his business. He designed a smart table that fits perfectly around the tree trunk. Now people can sit under the shade, eat, work, and relax comfortably. The design is not only beautiful, but also highly practical. Because of this unique idea, demand for these tables is growing in parks, gardens, and cafes, giving him a special place in the
Everyone thought it was physically impossible to stay in the air for more than 1 second. Even Michael Jordan at his athletic peak could only stay airborne for about 0.92 seconds. Then came Isaiah Rivera, one of the greatest dunkers in the world, alongside Jordan Kilganon. He got incredibly close, staying in the air.
When this guy finished first in the race, people were completely shocked to find out he was actually disqualified because the event required a 10-mile bike ride followed by a 5-mile run, and everything seemed completely normal as he got off the bike and started putting on his shoes. But he actually forgot one crucial detail, because in this competition, every participant is required to wear socks. When this guy finished
This man noticed that a giant moth was attacking a beehive in his garden every day. He tried to catch it, but the moth suddenly flew away. The next day, the same moth returned to attack the hive again. This time, the man finally managed to catch it and release it somewhere else. After that, the bees seemed to trust him. He could touch.
These people in China got tired of their streets going completely dark at night, so they found a surprisingly creative solution. Instead of installing traditional street lamps, they wrapped small lights around the trunks and branches of nearby trees. During the day, the streets look completely normal, but when night falls, everything changes. The trees begin.
This boy had to make the piece fall right into that hole. As the levels got harder, he kept beating them always on the second try. Then his friends let him try the toughest challenge of all, the one no one had ever managed to complete, but everyone was surprised because he did it with ease. Leave a like so your finger doesn't fall off. This boy had to make the piece fall right into.
The boy really liked the little duck, but he had no money, so he could only gently touch the little duck. To look at the little yellow duck a bit longer, the boy stayed to clean the shop. At that time only one egg was left. The shop owner thought it was a bad egg, so he threw it into the trash can. The boy was shocked. He immediately rushed over and searched through the trash. He put it into his pocket, planning to take it home and hatch it himself. After returning home, the boy found.
The mom pulled open the baby's clothes. She found he had grown horns on his back. Next day, the mom pulled open the baby's clothes. She found he had grown horns on his back. Next day, the baby was gone. Turned out he had climbed onto the cabinet. The mom took the baby down. He had grown wings on his back. The mom carefully picked him up. She put the baby in the bathtub and washed away the blood on the wings. She covered the crib with a blanket and fixed it securely. To prevent the baby from flying away, soon the baby's wings. The mom pulled open the baby's clothes. She found he had grown horns on his back. Next day, the baby was gone. Turned out he had climbed onto the cabinet. The mom took the baby down. He had grown wings on his back. The mom carefully picked him up. She put the baby in the bathtub and washed away the blood on the wings. She covered the crib with a blanket and fixed it securely. To prevent the baby from flying away, soon the baby's wings grew larger. His clothes no longer fit, so the mom made a special piece of clothing. The baby's wings could come out. Now he could flap his wings freely. As time passed, the wings grew bigger. Even feathers grew out. The baby became a birdman. To prevent the baby from getting hurt, the mom put sponge guards on him and bought him a helmet. After the mom and sister let go,
If a bee stings you, do not panic. First, check the area where it stung you. Bees often leave their stinger behind and then fly away. Do not try to swat the bee, as that may make the situation even more painful. Next, wash the affected area thoroughly. But be careful, a swarm of bees will appear in your room tonight if you don't leave a like. If a bee stings you, do not panic. First, check the area.
Did you know you can make these incredibly refreshing and perfectly layered watermelon kiwi popsicles with just 4 ingredients? Start by blending about 2 cups of cubed watermelon into a juice. Then pour it into your popsicle molds, filling them partially. Drop in a few mini chocolate chips for those realistic watermelon seeds. While that freezes, blend up 2.
In China, schools use animal-shaped models to help students understand how different animals see the world around them. Owls have a wide field of vision. Fish see everything with greenish tones, while horses view the world very differently from humans, making it look almost like a racetrack. Cats see in a way similar to fish, but with more bluish tones. And the dragonfly's vision is the worst of all. And
This guy just got a message saying that school will be closed tomorrow. So this genius did this.
What happens if you keep giving bigger and bigger tips to the hotel cleaners? If you leave just $2, they make the bed look clean and nice. It doesn't really change anything at all, but when you leave $20, that's exactly when things start to get really fun and interesting. The cleaners don't just stop at the bed anymore. Out of nowhere, even a towel...
I don't think people realize how smart Michael is in football challenges with Celine. Because when he had to score goals against this goalie, he did a fake shot, then had an easy shot. And when he did a challenge to hit each post, he timed it, where one kick would hit all 3 posts. Then when everyone was trying to get Ronaldo, Michael found a smart way to do it. But while these
These women can go their whole lives without washing their hair. And here's why. They are part of the Himba tribe and follow a unique tradition passed down through generations. Their hair is coated with a red paste made of clay, cow fat, and resin that shields it from heat and dust while representing strength and beauty. And your hair might wake up looking like this if you skip light. These women can go their whole...
The doctor has warned the man not to puff out his cheeks repeatedly or they might burst. Yet he has no choice and ignores the doctor's advice. To support his family, he works on a production line, shaping hot glass by blowing air into it constantly. Soon, he finishes blowing the hot glass into an exquisite bottle.
My friend, there are moments in life when it feels like God is silent. You pray, you wait, and nothing seems to change. But God's silence does not mean God's absence. Even when you cannot see His hand, He is still guiding your path. The greatest blessings often arrive at...
Look, son, a sponge and some watercolors. And ta-da, instant rainbow apples.
Sorry, Dad, no sponge.
Oh, what? Really? Wait, then I've got an idea. My fingertips. Set out all the watercolors, then paint it like this.
What? No, you're out, Dad.
What? No way.
My turn, but before...
If you ever see a horse falling into the water like this near a river, then stay away from it as fast as possible. Because when this girl takes her horse to the riverside after many days during the summer, the horse sees the water and jumps straight into it to have fun and starts playing in the water. But seeing her horse like this for the first time, the girl gets pretty scared. But the horse is so happy that it starts...
There you go. Alright, go ahead. There you go. Alright, go ahead. There you go.
This tiny puppy gets scared and hides inside his little shelter whenever...
This is the scammiest carnival game in Italy. The goal is to make the coin fall outside the circle. But the real problem comes from the game's host. He spends all day next to his stand and always makes sure you don't even get a chance to compete. But this guy has a plan to win because he knows most people end up rage quitting the game pretty fast, as the scammer always finds a reason to reset the game again and again, all until they...
Please choose me. Nobody ever chooses me. Please accept my birth. Please choose me. Nobody.
When this boy jumped over the sacred rope, he easily got inside it, because only a pure person with God's blessing can complete this ritual. But when this girl tried to jump over it, she immediately fell down. Then, many other people tried, but none of them could complete the ritual. If you believe in God, like this video. When this boy jumped over the sacred rope, he easily got inside it, because only a pure person with...
What could possibly go wrong if you drink Coke and swallow Mentos? You might think your body will explode like a soda volcano. You see, it's not that simple. So what actually happens, I'll explain. But if you don't want to end up like this, tap like, click subscribe, comment a heart, and share this now. The truth is, your stomach has more space than a bottle, so it won't explode.
When the boy finished his chips, his mother was about to throw the empty bag away, but he immediately stopped her and said, "Don't throw it away. Put it in your purse." A little later, the family started eating at a restaurant. When they finished, the boy took out the same bag and began filling it with the leftover food from the table. Seeing this, his parents got upset with him. They thought he was doing something.
There is a place on Earth deeper than Mount Everest is tall. It's called the Mariana Trench, and it's nearly 11 kilometers deep. There is a place on Earth deeper than Mount Everest is tall. It's called the Mariana Trench.
Michael Jackson would have been speechless after seeing Rockeye try to sing Billie Jean.
Billie Jean is not my love.
Truck drivers, don't skip this knot. One simple wrap, one quick pull, and your cargo stays secure.
Hey guys.
The other day I got stung by a stingray and it didn't feel very good. And then a couple weeks later it got really infected, so I went to the hospital so that they can do some x-rays on my foot, and they just told me to take medication. The other day I got stung by a stingray and it didn't feel very good. And then a couple weeks later it got really infected, so I went to the hospital so that they can do some x-rays on my foot, and they just told me to take medication. The other day I got stung by a stingray and it didn't feel very good. And then a couple weeks later it got really infected, so I went to the hospital so that they can do some x-rays on my foot, and they just told me to take medication. And all of this almost cost $1,000. So as I was walking out of the hospital, this made me think, does the stingray shuffle even work, or is it just a myth? So I got ready to test it out, and then this happened.
Just right there is one finger. One finger touch.
Yeah,
The moment this 7-year-old girl climbs onto the horse takes off at full speed. The girl keeps her cool and uses her sharp focus to control the horse carefully, while she is smoothly jumping over all the obstacles in their way. The crowd watching is shocked by how talented the girl is, but after 20 seconds of a thrilling ride, the girl calmly...
This is an extremely tough challenge. 6 players have to stay on this machine. Whoever holds on the longest will win $1 million, but the losers will fall into ice-cold water. According to the rules, each player could choose one support item. First, Jack chose a blue suit with nylon zippers. He believed this sticky suit would help him survive until the end. On the other side, Tom chose the easy.
New York spent millions of dollars trying to stop people from evading the subway fare. The original ones were too easy. People just hopped over or pulled them back, so they added spikes on the sides. Then people just opened the emergency door next to them instead, so they replaced those with full glass panels, so you couldn't reach over or slip through. Then people figured out that throwing a jacket over...
This girl owns a collection of peculiar dresses. The first is a dress shaped like a sofa. With it, she never has to worry about finding a seat again. The second is a dress shaped like a bed. If she feels sleepy, she can lie down and sleep anytime, anywhere. The third is a folding dress. Whenever she feels socially anxious, she can simply fold herself up so that no one can see her. The fourth...
If you drink too much water, the excess will fill up your stomach and get absorbed.
What? Water's good for you. That's why I have at least 6 gallons a day.
If you ordered a burger and found a cockroach inside of it, would you still eat it?
Would you rather waffle spray or Nutella spray? Chicken spray or sausage spray? Die tomorrow. Or like this video?
We call this spell or drop.
Spell indubitably.
Indubitably. INDUBBILLY.
Great job.
Thanks.
Spell Pennsylvania. P-E-N.
Look, this is why men die faster than women, because when this young boy found a big hole in the snow, he immediately went inside. At first, he thought it was just a normal hole, but he didn't know it was a trap, and what was waiting for him inside was something terrifying. As he was moving, he saw 2 different paths, but one was blocked, so he became suspicious.
In China, there is a lake called Lake Chaganur. Because of its incredibly high mineral content, the lake's water appears cloudy white, resembling milk. That is why many tourists come to see its unique scenery. Would you dare to drink it straight away? In China, there is a lake called Lake Chaganur. Because of its incredibly high mineral content, the lake's water.
This kid wanted a peekaboo hairstyle, but when he tied his hair up like a porcupine, separating all of the sections and then bleaching the very bottoms of the hair, making sure the tips stayed the same color, people in the comments were saying this is a new style called ghost roots, and you can't even see what it actually looks like until the dye is dried up and you run your fingers through the hair. But would you try this? This kid wanted a peekaboo hairstyle, but when he tied his hair up like a
What happens if you put dog saliva under a microscope? Some people love kissing their pet dogs without realizing that dogs can carry diseases such as rabies if they are infected. Because of that, this guy came up with a crazy idea. He wanted to see what dog saliva actually looks like under a microscope. He let his pet dog lick a glass slide.
I need a deep sea diver, swimming with a fishy. Come on, come on. I need a deep sea diver, swimming with a fishy. Come on. I need a deep sea diver, swimming with a fishy. Come on, come on. I need a deep sea diver, swimming with a fishy. Come on. I need a deep sea.
If you ever go near a river, don't make the same mistake. A girl spotted a strange orange stone and started digging. The deeper she went, the brighter it glowed. When she finally pulled it out, it turned out to be a crystal worth millions. But then she said she'd give.
Look, this is why men die faster than women, because when this young boy found a big hole in the snow, he immediately went inside. At first, he thought it was just a normal hole, but he didn't know it was a trap, and what was waiting for him inside was something terrifying. As he was moving, he saw two different paths, but one.
When this girl received her graduation gift, her family decided to prank her with the biggest surprise ever. Because when she opened the bag, she was confused why they only gave her an iPhone case, since she didn't even own an iPhone. But just when she thought the gift made no sense, her family revealed the prank and handed her an actual.
After his mother passed away, the little boy visited her grave every day. Since he couldn't yet understand the meaning of death, he believed his mother was only staying there temporarily and would soon return home. Although his father was heartbroken, he didn't know how to break the news to him. So he decided to send a gift. This mother was about to give birth, and her daughter was very worried about her, fearing she might lose her mother. So this mother was about to give birth, and her daughter was very worried about her, fearing she might lose her mother. So she hugged her suffering mother tightly and stayed by her side. However, the baby was born with a cleft lip, which broke the mother's heart, but she never considered abandoning him, instead loving him like the most precious gem. But as he grew older, many people started.
Wrap the dry noodles tightly around a pair of chopsticks.
Wrapping dry noodles around a pair of chopsticks.
Then hold them lifted above a pot of hot oil.
Holding them lifted above the pot of hot oil.
And carefully spoon that oil over them.
And I'm carefully spooning oil over them.
This causes the
This guy accidentally damaged a section of his bathroom wall and immediately started thinking of a different solution before anyone noticed. Instead of repairing the wall in the usual way, he came up with a very unusual idea. He prepared his stencils and spray paint, then began covering the damaged area layer by layer. At first, the result looked like nothing more than random lines and colors, but over time,
10 days ago, I put an air.
This guy accidentally damaged a section of his bathroom wall and immediately started thinking of a different solution before anyone noticed. Instead of repairing
10 days ago, I put an air tag in the most haunted.
Look, this boy was performing.
This little puppy was so smart that he always found a way to tell his owner exactly how much food he wanted before every meal. And because he looked just like a stuffed toy, he loved hiding among the other toys just to see if his owner could find him. Whenever his owner got ready to leave the house, the puppy would quietly climb into her bag and sit there. Then one day, his owner showed him that
This boy spent hours building the perfect sandcastle, but just when it was almost done, this girl tripped over it and destroyed everything. He was sad for a moment, but then he started again. He rebuilt the whole thing stronger this time and swore he'd protect it no matter what and when.
Why babies smell so good. That iconic newborn scent comes from Vernix caseosa, the creamy coating babies are born with, mixed with amniotic fluid and their natural skin chemistry. It's one of the most chemically complex scents in
This girl traveled to Japan to learn martial arts, but the training was much harder than she expected. Every day she repeated the same exercises for hours. Every mistake was corrected immediately and very quickly. She understood.
You're shaving or doing hair removal, and suddenly you notice something that looks like a mole, but on closer look,
This girl traveled.
you're shaving or
The shopping mall has never been robbed because the owner keeps a guard dog on.
En un frasco le añades un puñado de sal molida, canela molida, suavizante de ropa, un chorrito de alcohol, pon una astilla de canela y tendrás un ambientador para...
Remember this girl who was at a Michael Jackson concert and got the chance to meet Michael Jackson live on stage?
Just the other night,
The man touched a hippo. The next second, his hands turned red. Oh no, is that blood? He panicked. He tried to make the hippo throw up, but nothing happened. He got even more nervous. Is it hungry? So he quickly gave it some food. The hippo took a few bites. Then suddenly, it collapsed into his arms. He froze. He checked its teeth right away. No wounds. Everything looked fine.
Do you know what to do if your child is choking? This is a very serious question. And the reality is some people don't. Through college, I was a lifeguard, and if there's one thing I can tell you is that life happens really fast. And you need to be able to act in a second. We cut the grapes, we avoid the popcorn, but life still happens.
Who would have thought that beneath an ordinary-looking beach lies a fortune in seafood? Those countless little wooden sticks scattered across the sand are actually markers placed by fishermen to identify their secret harvesting spots. Dig almost anywhere around them, and you could uncover.
This girl made a big mistake. She wore a super short skirt and bumped into a railing. Her boss watched to see what she would do, but she just lifted her skirt and climbed over without caring about her image. Seeing this, her boss couldn't help but laugh. However, she made another mistake and almost got fired. Her job seemed like...
This guy woke up one day, and when he tried to stick out his tongue, this happened. The same will happen to everyone who doesn't like. This guy woke up one day, and when he tried to stick out his tongue, this happened. The same will happen to everyone who doesn't like. This guy woke up one day, and when he tried to stick out his tongue, this happened. The same will happen to everyone who doesn't like.
This man became a millionaire with just one beehive because he revolutionized the way honey is produced. With this futuristic hive, people can keep bees inside their own homes, as it has tubes connecting the outside of the house to the inside. This allows the bees to come and go while producing honey. Through a transparent panel, you can monitor how many bees are inside. The system also allows you to collect.
This guy dressed up as a girl to prove that even women can become super muscular. Sadly, his girl saw his video and thought he had changed his gender, so she left him, and now he'll beat up those who do not like and subscribe. This guy dressed...
This girl has a poodle who is very afraid of escalators, so every time they have to use one, she picks him up like a little baby and carries him the hallway so he doesn't get scared. If you think she's cute, leave a like. This girl has a poodle who is very afraid of escalators, so every time they have to use one, she picks him up like a little baby and carries him the hallway so he doesn't get scared. If you think she's cute, leave a like. This girl has a poodle who is very afraid of escalators.
This guy wanted to become Spider-Man and took it way too far. He trained his hands for years.
This man threw his girlfriend onto the bed, and after kissing her, they fell asleep together. The next morning, when he woke up, he tried to wake her by touching her, but that was the first time he had ever seen her without makeup, and he screamed in fear. Then he quickly ran away, and if you don't leave a like, you'll be next. This man threw his girlfriend onto the bed, and after kissing her, they fell asleep.
This man got robbed, and you won't believe what happened next.
I was just going for a walk, and I noticed that every business here seems to share.
This man got robbed, and you won't believe what happened next.
I was just going for a walk, and I noticed that every business...
Hey, Auntie, why is that strawberry covered up? Are you hiding it from someone? Nope, I'm helping it grow into a star shape. Look, isn't it cool? Wow, sis, that's amazing. Can I get one? Sorry, this is only for people with white like buttons. Hey, Auntie, why is that strawberry covered up?
She was so tired of people making fun of her because of her short nails that she went straight to the nail salon.
Hey, Auntie.
As soon as their work was finished,
Don't just give your child new sandals. If you don't do it right, they might be uncomfortable wearing them. Try this trick. Soak the sandals in hot water to make them more flexible and mold to the shape of your feet. Add a hair tie to the strap to keep them from coming loose and fit better. Finally, this sandal will invite people who don't like or subscribe to play.
On this flight, an old man suddenly put on a strange mask. The flight attendant kept serving passengers without noticing. Then she reached his seat, and when she saw his face, she jumped in surprise. Everyone started watching. On this flight, an old...
Look, if this snake starts coming towards you even once, no matter how much you try to scare it away, it may keep coming in the same direction. People say this snake gets super focused and mostly keeps moving wherever its head is facing. That's why, instead of panicking, you'd have to carefully make it turn in another direction first. And now, it might start heading toward the people who forgot to like and subscribe. Look, if this snake starts coming towards you even once, no matter how much you try to scare it away, it may keep coming in the same direction. People say this snake gets super focused and mostly keeps moving wherever its head is facing. That's why, instead of panicking, you'd have to carefully make it turn in another direction first. And now, it might start heading toward the people who forgot to like and subscribe. Look, if this snake starts coming...
Why are ballroom dancers' hair so hard? It looks strange, but there's actually a reason behind it. If you don't want to go bald, hit like. Ballroom dancers use large amounts of gel and hairspray to make their hair extremely stiff and shiny. This keeps every strand perfectly in place while they spin and move quickly during performances. Why are ballroom dancers' hair so hard? It looks strange.
This is how an ant bites you. First, it uses its pincers to grab your skin, and this part doesn't even hurt. Once they hold on to your skin with their pincers,
These are 3 dolls that are forbidden for children.
This guy laughed when he saw the axe his older brother bought. After all, his own axe had cost over $100, while his brother's was the cheapest one at the market. Confident he had the better tool, the younger brother challenged him to see who could split a thick log with the fewest swings. The older brother went first and cut through it in just 5 strikes. Then the expensive axe took...
Day 55 of cutting Bob the Rock in half. I installed the beach umbrella, put the saw in the cut, added some vinegar, and then I started cutting. The vinegar is quite effective, but I can add a lot of it. My mom will kill me if she finds out. This is my view when I'm cutting for hours. If anyone saw a guy sitting there...
Hey. Hi. Are you with any...
This man who has no arms was tired of sleeping on an old sofa. Having then made a purchase over the internet, he decided to put together a new bed by himself. When the delivery arrived, the workers brought the pieces to him and the assembly began. Initially, he fitted the primary elements of the structure, afterwards placing the soft cushions in positions that would allow him to lean.
Last photos of famous celebrities before they died. Michael Jackson.
You don't get a second chance at these bleacher years. So be present, show up, be their biggest and loudest fan.
Three things in Japan that always surprise foreigners. First, in Japan, there's a very famous paper sakura tree. Even though it's made entirely of paper, once you open it and pour a special chemical on top, something magical happens. After about half an hour, tiny sakura leaves.
3 things in Japan that always shock foreigners. First, if you're craving a smoothie, Japan's 7-Eleven already has cups packed with fresh cut fruit inside. You just drop it on their in-store blender, press one button, and in a few seconds you have a fresh smoothie ready to drink straight out of a cup.
Why are they putting a mask on this turtle before transporting it to a new sanctuary? Well, a turtle's bite is no joke. Some species can snap surprisingly fast and with enough force to cause serious injuries. During transport, the turtle may not recognize its new caretakers and could become defensive or stressed. That's why handlers use these special protective masks. They help prevent the...
This old man was so confident he could prove the fisherman wrong. As the crowd gathered, a skilled fisherman explained that a net would only open fully if it was thrown a certain way. The old man immediately disagreed and claimed any method would work. Eager to prove his point,
Oh child, oh child, oh child, where have you gone? This life doesn't. Oh child, oh child, oh.
Estos son los caballos más inteligentes del mundo, y el número 1 aprende trucos desde la primera vez que lo ve. Número 3, el cuarto de milla americano. Este caballo es una auténtica leyenda en los ranchos. Puede anticipar los movimientos del ganado casi por instinto. Muchas veces...
The grandpa had never eaten any fruit before. Keep him healthy.
Forget skill. Forget step.
The grandpa had never eaten any fruit before. Keep him healthy. The boy came up with a smart idea. He juiced the pomelo and poured it into the flour. One had to be careful while kneading dough.
He rolled the dough into tiny bits that looked like.
Forget skill. Forget stats. These 5 players had something nobody could teach. Number 5, Mario Balotelli. The most unpredictable player football has ever seen. He didn't need to celebrate. He didn't need to talk. He just pulled up his shirt and let the world ask the question he already knew the answer to. Why always me? Because no one else could handle it.
This pregnant woman tried to prank her husband by pretending her water broke, but then it actually happened, and his reaction was completely unexpected.
James, hurry, come quick! I think my water just broke, hurry! James, hurry! I think my water just broke.
You're lying. Why are you holding a bottle of water? Why are you filming?
This cat was so aggressive, his owner struggled to find anyone willing to groom him. Every time someone got close, the cat would hiss, scratch, and try to bite. His owner had been searching for someone brave enough to handle him. Thankfully, one groomer was willing to try, but the moment he reached into the cage, the cat immediately went on the attack. Even with thick protective gloves, the groomer knew he needed a better plan. Otherwise, this grooming session would be over before it even started. And what he did next was the only reason this grooming became possible. But first, like
Si hoy estás atravesando una etapa difícil, si sientes que nadie entiende lo que estás viviendo, si has llorado en silencio, si has sentido miedo del futuro, quiero recordarte algo muy especial. Debes saber que no.
When this girl reached her house and started opening the door with her fingerprint, and because her nails had been modified, her finger couldn't properly touch the scanner, so she simply removed one of her nails. The funny part was, after the door opened, she just put the nail back on. Actually, she had tiny magnets inside her nails. After that, when she needed to type on her phone, she removed the nail from her thumb, and then, when she forgot where—
This was the ultimate off-road showdown, a brand new high-tech Tesla Cybertruck versus a classic gas-powered Hummer, both trying to conquer the exact same massive dirt hill. The Cybertruck owner went first, totally confident that his electric vehicle's instant torque would easily carry him to the top. But as soon as he hits the gas, the heavy—
3 things from Japan you'll wish existed in your country. First, summers in Japan bring swarms of mosquitoes, but luckily—
That's it. So, I was struggling with chipping for a while. I was getting very technical.
This might be proof that life is actually scripted. So this Chinese woman took a photo in front of a famous monument while on vacation.
Hey, taxi, stop right now. My wife is pregnant. I'll get the door. Come on, honey, get in.
Okay, I'm getting in. Close the door.
I'm putting the bags in the trunk and I'll be right back. Did you lock the door?
Sorry, I'm breaking up with you. I'll only get back together with you if this gets a lot of likes.
Hey, taxi, stop right now. My wife is pregnant. I'll get the door. Come on, honey, get in.
Okay, I'm getting in. Close the door.
I'm putting the bags in the trunk and I'll be—
Mix 3 cups of sugar.
No. Mix 12 cups of sugar.
With 1 cup of water.
With 4 cups of water.
Then heat it up while stirring.
Stirring the mixture. That is a lot of sugar.
Once it's clear, pour the hot syrup into a glass jar.
Pour the hot syrup in.
This poor boy couldn't catch a single butterfly, but when he finally caught one by accident, he was disappointed because he thought it was just an ordinary butterfly. But what he didn't know was that this butterfly was about to change his life. When he opened the slip attached to it, he couldn't believe his eyes. It said he had won $1 million. This poor boy couldn't catch a single butterfly, but
when you have too much main character energy, and you treat throwing away garbage like a high-fashion sport, bro is literally questioning the laws of physics right now. When you have too much main character energy, and you treat throwing away garbage like a high-fashion sport.
This underwater roller coaster has a genius way to help you breathe while submerged in the water. Because it's not like a submarine where you don't get wet. Because when you enter the pool, the water instantly starts rising from your feet. But because this massive helmet is constantly pumped with oxygen, you can still breathe because the water stops rising.
He decided to connect the river to the ocean, but ruined the beach. First, he dug a trench which led to the ocean. When he found out that it was illegal, he wanted to stop the flowing water, but it was too late. The water had already begun to pour into the ocean. The water was washing away the sand and the hole was getting bigger every second.
With a woven bag hanging from his waist and his boots sunk deep in the mud, this fisherman has over 30 years of crab-catching experience. His sharp eye and skilled technique are on a completely different level from the average harvester. Armed with nothing more than a wooden stick, Haige expertly probes the muddy flat.
Level 1.
I don't think this will work. See? I told you.
Level 2.
I don't think I'll move. I told you.
Level 3.
Almost.
Level 4. If this boat manages to move Mario, I'm gonna give it to the first.
This coffin is made entirely of mushrooms, and it turns you into a forest. No, seriously.
What would happen if you fell into a giant oyster and its shell closed? The oyster would release a sticky liquid that would trap you.
Look, this dog noticed something unusual. His two owners were fighting over a single chicken leg, and neither one was willing to give it up. He sat quietly and watched them, looking from one to the other.
Why is JBL paying him to throw speakers? Meet Anthrony. He throws everything like an Olympian, but mostly JBL speakers. JBL saw the videos and thought, if we're going to be a meme, let's make it official. So they did a collab with him. It also works as a quality test, even after flying 72.
This video shows the true scale of the biggest movie screen in the world. Your TV at home is that tiny little box. It's so small you could barely squeeze a fridge through it. This is the average movie theater screen, and it's large enough that you could fit an entire freight train through it and still have room on the sides. But neither of those comes close to an IMAX screen. The screen is so enormous.
She bought her favorite childhood ice cream, then instantly had the craziest realization.
Hey, $75, please. All right, here you go. Oh, wow. This ice cream's so good. And my server was just so amazing. Wow, I should honestly just give her more than $5 for a tip. She was just so perfect.
This woman got her hair stuck so badly that she eventually needed surgery just to fix it.
It don't move.
You see, 40-year-old Tessica Brown was styling her hair and wanted something to keep it in place.
You know, finish it off with the little Dr. Big Blue spray. Well, I didn't have any more Dr. Big Blue spray.
So she decided to use Gorilla.
If you must sedate a primate with a young baby, you should let the baby stay awake and cling to the mother during the entire exam or procedure. This approach is the least traumatic for the baby and avoids unnecessary sedation. If you must sedate a primate with a young baby, you should let the baby stay awake and cling to the mother during the entire exam or procedure.
Ay, Dios mío, todos ellos tienen muchísimo.
Hey, don't poop.
Why would someone roll hundreds of tiny needles across their face on purpose? Most people think it would just damage their skin, but that's not why they do it. So what actually happens? I'll tell you, but if you don't want this to happen, tap like, hit subscribe, share this fast, and comment, God is good.
This girl found a strange plastic container stuck on the beach, and when she looked inside, she realized a pregnant octopus was trapped inside. So the girl tried to free it, but it was already too late because the toxic plastic had made her weak. But still, with her last bit of strength, the octopus gave a small gift to the girl, a baby she would never get.
Look, today this woman takes her daughter's photo and applies a little bit of glue on it. Then, with the help of a card, she spreads it evenly so that there isn't too much glue anywhere. After that, she presses the photo well with a machine. But as soon as she opens it, something appears in front that would surprise anyone. But before that, if you are a girl, then like. If you are a boy, then like and subscribe. And if angels are protecting you, then leave a heart in the comment. So now look, after this, the same photo transforms into a...
Why do bottles sometimes burst when you open them on a plane? Some people think it's because the bottle was shaken, but that's not actually the reason. You've probably noticed that even chip bags puff up during a flight and pop open the moment you touch.
Biking might be one of the best.
This girl got stuck in a baby swing, and after an hour of trying everything to free her, her mom had no choice.
These three boys made a huge mistake. They didn't know how to use the playground equipment, so they just lay down on it as if they were in bed. It wasn't until a girl came over to show them the right way to use it that they realized how silly they'd been. They were mortified, afraid the girl would think they were idiots. But unexpectedly, when they met again, the two boys got into a fight over who would sit next to.
First, put your battery.
Making a sculpture of your own head is not for everyone, especially if you're
He could barely move his shoulder and thought his game was over, until someone...
Things in Japan that always surprise foreigners. First, in Japan, you can visit the Park of Love, which has special benches for single people. If you like someone, you can sit next to them. Or if you're too shy. Things in Japan that always surprise foreigners. First, in Japan, you can visit the Park of Love, which has special benches for single people. If you like someone, you can sit next to them. Or if you're too shy, you can sit on an empty bench and wait for someone who likes you to sit across. Next, when temperatures start to drop, bus stops in Japan have benches that are heated from underneath. So instead of freezing while waiting, you can sit comfortably in a cozy spot until your bus arrives. Next, in Japanese supermarkets,
3 unique Japanese secrets you didn't know. First, many umbrellas have transparent designs. This lets you see through them while walking to easily avoid bumping into people on crowded streets. Next, instead of messy sprays, people use small mosquito repellent stickers. They release a clean scent that keeps bugs away from your skin. But the third
Even if you put a shell on a sea otter's head, it still won't tell you these 5 things. Number 5, sea otters.
Why do Americans crush their Thanksgiving turkeys before cooking them? Are they trying to perform CPR on turkey that's already dead? But that's not the real reason. And if you've ever eaten turkey, like and subscribe. They're actually using a technique called spatchcocking, where the back...
Qual você escolheria? Qual você escolheria?
A leopard was trying to harass a baby ostrich. The leopard didn't realize it was her own life that was being threatened. The mother ostrich immediately kicked and beat her. The leopard went all out. Although unable to fly, ostriches can run at speeds of up to 70 kilometers by age. Their legs are incredibly strong.
3 men were locked inside a massive contraption, ready to take on a challenge. The rules were simple. The first one to escape would win $1,000. They tried various methods, but all ended in failure. However, one of the men came from a poor background. His mother was seriously ill, and he needed the money more than anyone else. Upon learning of his situation, the other 2 decided...
She just noticed her dog glitching in the Matrix because every time she let him out during a rainstorm, he would run in a way that didn't make sense. At first, she thought he was just playing, but it kept happening every time it rained. And one day, he went too far.
He doesn't want to come inside. He wants to run, jump in that puddle over there, and he wants me to watch him. Come on in! He just wants me to watch him go.
How much free ice cream can I get from Dairy Queen before they kick me out? Because today is free ice cream day, and for my first cone, I just walked up wearing regular clothes. And cone number 1 was easy, but now it was time for a disguise I like to call Old Man Gerald. Let's do this. 1 free ice cream cone, please. Thank you. And while the employees hadn't caught on yet, the other people started to...
When this repairman turned on the air conditioner, instead of cooling, it started spinning like a helicopter blade. Not only that, when the owner asked the repairman why the room door wasn't opening, the repairman told him to step back. Then he showed him how the door opens. And the craziest part was that the repairman came up with such a wild idea that when the faucet was turned, instead of water coming out, fire started burning from a hole.
The unwritten rule in Japan: the drink you have in Japan will never leave you. Even after you finish it, you'll carry it for hours and have to take it everywhere you go. In restaurants, in the toilet, and on the subway, you'll start to feel like the bottle is a part of you. Just when you think you found a trash can, a man will come out of a hole. Only after you leave the country will you finally get rid of it.
This is a river of milk, where you can drink as much milk as you want. Everywhere you look, you will only see milk. But is that really true? Actually, in China, there is a lake called Chaganur, where the amount of minerals in the water is so high that the water looks exactly like milk. That's why a lot of people come here. But they don't drink the water directly like fools. Instead, the government...
This girl spent money on scissors to open her rings until she realized the scissors needed scissors too.
I just went to Walmart and I bought these rings for $6. I thought they were so cute. But I realized that they are attached with these little plastic things. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna grab a cheap pair of scissors so when I get into the car, I can cut them out.
This man noticed some bees coming out of a crack in the wall, so he decided to check it out. But once he started removing the block, he found a whole beehive hidden underneath it. So he decided to safely remove them, and at first he started searching for the queen bee. But once he found her and placed her into a small box, all the bees noticed their queen was gone, so they immediately followed her into...
While waiting at a red light, this girl took off her high heels and tried to scratch her itchy feet. Just as she found the right spot to scratch, the light turned green and the driver behind her immediately honked. Panicking and not having time to think anymore, the girl immediately pulled on the gas and sped off, leaving her high heels in the...
Welcome back to another episode of Hellscape Land. Here we are, painting the Statue of Life. That's actually not what it's called. It's called the Statue of Armadillos. He was painting on a planet far, far away.
If you're stuck in the back of a Cybertruck while your battery is dead, you have got one big problem. You might think it would be impossible to escape, as there's no door handle inside. But that's the simple problem. But the real problem is, since the trunk is designed as vault, it can only be controlled electrically, which means if...
This greedy bird tries to eat almost anything it sees. Like here, it's holding a duckling in its beak. This is a pelican. Normally, pelicans feed on fish, but when they're extremely hungry, they don't always discriminate. They may attempt to swallow almost anything they think they can handle, even things they really shouldn't. In fact, there have been rare cases where pelicans try...
Even from a materialistic, even from a
an atheistic
This boy got his head stuck between metal railings while playing. At first, he tried to free himself, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get out. As time passed, he became frightened and had to ask for help. After his mother called for assistance, firefighters quickly arrived at the scene. They carefully examined the situation and used special tools to spread the railings apart. A few minutes later, the boy was finally freed and let out a huge sigh of relief. This boy got his head stuck between metal railings while playing. At first, he tried to free himself, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get out. As time passed, he became frightened and had to ask for help. After his mother called for assistance, firefighters quickly arrived at the scene.
This guy pranked his friend in the...
Sitting here is so relaxing, right, doggy? The flower is so beautiful. Let's go to the fruit garden. Let's go pick. Sitting.
If you come to this place and get into trouble, you won't be able to...
On the girl's 18th birthday, the doctor told her she had only 2 months left to live. She felt both terrified and heartbroken, but her parents did not give up. Instead, they decided to have her baptized, entrusting her completely to God. Meanwhile, her older sister went alone to the seashore, hoping to draw closer to God and for him to hear her prayer to save her sister.
When the little kid tried to move a piece of bread onto his plate, it slipped out of his hand and dropped to the floor. The older kid standing behind him saw it happen and stepped in right away. With a soft smile, he grabbed another piece from the tray and set it gently on the little kid's plate. As the younger one walked off, the older kid picked up a cup of juice and handed it to him too.
Yeah, it's a global sound. Trap beat drops in. Heavy 808. I like. Yeah, it's a global sound. Trap beat.
Look, this kid had to choose between resting or training for the team, so he picked a paper that said rest. The moment everyone saw it, the whole squad got excited, thinking they were finally getting a break. They started celebrating because they thought practice was canceled. But what they didn't know was that the choice was never really up to them, because the coach had no plans of letting them skip training.
Did you know? While visiting Disneyland, a family tried to pull the Excalibur sword from the stone. The daughter, the son, the mother, and even the father all failed. But right after they left, a few other visitors managed to pull the sword out. It turns out the sword has a hidden mechanism that can be activated by Disneyland operators. So if someone succeeds in pulling it out, they might not be the chosen.
This is why people are so scared to enter this room in China, because whenever anyone tries going inside, they get so terrified that they can barely take a few steps before running back out. The room has screens covering the walls and even the floor, constantly showing scary visuals that look so real only brave people can handle them. This is...
Do you think I can hold my breath before this boy cuts all the balloons with the katana? I hope the sword is really sharp because the water here is very cold.
Oh, Matthew, I just cleaned this entire floor.
Wait, I'll take care of cleaning it. Why is this girl taking so long?
Just watch me moving far away. Nobody even. Just watch me moving far away.
¿Cuánto cuesta ese animalito?
Ay, no. Esa bestia así como está como para usted la dejo en 50 millones de pesos.
¿Cuánto cuesta ese animalito?
Ay, no. Esa bestia así como está como para usted la dejo en 50 millones de pesos.
When this little boy got surrounded by police cars, everyone wondered what was going on, but he had done nothing.
When this man stumbled upon a statue of the infant Jesus, completely destroyed and discarded among the trash, he knew instantly that he simply could not leave it there. So, without hesitation, he took it home and devoted himself.
This girl's kids were acting up in school, so to punish them, she decided to make disgusting cockroach cookies. But that's not the worst of it, because she'll make everyone eat them who doesn't like and subscribe. This girl's kids were acting up in school, so to punish them, she decided to make disgusting cockroach cookies. But that's not the worst of it, because she'll make everyone eat them who doesn't.
This girl went viral for what she did to her hair when she started by taking a curly hairbrush and using it the wrong way to show what most people do, then doing it another way that most curly haired people do, and people in the comments were saying anytime they've tried this, it's never looked this good, showing that if you take the brush on the underside towards the roots of the hair and then slowly roll the comb down as you brush.
So I told my mom that I am famous. She's gonna check my phone tomorrow, so please blow this account so I don't get in trouble. So I told my mom that I am famous. She's gonna
This fisherman thought he had caught a normal fish, but something about it looked strange. When he picked it up, he noticed its mouth looked unusual, so he decided to take a closer look. As he opened the fish's mouth, he was shocked to find rows of teeth that looked almost human. The fish wasn't ordinary at all. It had a mouthful of teeth that left everyone surprised. But
3 things in Japan that surprise outsiders. First, there's a chef called Taro Kiso, but he doesn't own a restaurant. He travels the world making ultimate rice balls. And here's the crazy part. He shapes burning hot rice with his bare hands. Most people can't even touch it, but he turns it into art. Next, in Japan, elder
¿Puedes creer que este slime está hecho con jabón y una esponja de baño? Empieza frotando jabón sobre una esponja hasta obtener una gran cantidad de espuma. Luego agrega algodón. Sigue mezclando hasta que la textura empiece a verse así. Ahora añade un poco de color. Mézclalo todo y de repente tendrás el slime más esponjoso y satisfactorio que hayas visto.
This man was attempting to get the world record for this 7x7 Rubik's Cube, but nobody expected how he tried solving it at all. But just watch.
He has a metal device in his mouth, and it's good for him. It's an expander, which is placed on the roof of his mouth. Every day, he has to turn a metal screw in his mouth with a special key so that each turn will widen the upper jaw by a tiny amount. An expander.
This dad was relaxing outside when he began hearing sirens in the distance. At first, he was completely confused, but then it hit him that it was a special tribute just for him. He is now retired and battling cancer. And so, one by one, all his old friends rolled by to show their love, giving him an unforgettable moment that he truly deserved. Give this old hero a like. This dad was relaxing outside when he began. These girls on the football team wanted to do something fun and unforgettable before the game, so they styled their hair to match their jersey numbers. Number 1 wore 1 braid, number 2 had 2 braids. Then came 3, 4, 6, and even number 7 rocking 7 braids perfectly. But they didn't stop there. The girl wearing number 11.
This guy walked into a store to buy a few things, but the owner immediately thought he might steal something, so she secretly started watching him. When he picked up a napkin, she pretended to clean nearby products while staring at him the whole time. Then, when he grabbed an ice pack, she kept
When this mom took off her kid's shoes after school, she could not believe what he had been wearing the whole day. When this mom took off her kid's shoes after school, she could not believe what he had been wearing the whole
He just made a huge mistake after climbing this ship anchor, because when he swam toward it and started climbing up, everything seemed fine, and he even made it to the top of the chain. He pulled out his phone to record, not thinking much of it. But seconds later, something went terribly wrong. The ship suddenly started moving, and he was thrown off the chain into the water. When he came back up, he heard something beneath him, and when he looked down, what he saw was horrible.
123 Farm is the largest sustainably organic lavender farm in Southern California.
It takes about 50 pounds of plant material to make about 1.5 cups of essential oil, so it's quite concentrated. There are over 400 varieties of lavender.
People got confused when this guy brought a skateboard into a water slide, but it turned out the idea was actually genius, because at first it looked like he was about to ride it down like a normal slide, but instead he kept pushing the skateboard farther through the tube. And after making it through every tight turn, it turned out he actually made it to the top of the slide. People got confused. When this girl returned to her car house after buying groceries, she noticed that another car owner had parked too close, making it impossible for her to open the door. She could still reach her car, but not enter it. Inside, she saw her husband sleeping peacefully through the window. She tried calling him and knocking, but he did not respond. With no other option left, she used the emergency passage she had created and climbed into
the world is ready for the biggest African collaboration ever. The time to create something legendary is now. We will change lives through creative content. The world is ready for the biggest African collaboration ever. The time to create something.
If a bee suddenly stings you, don't panic. First, check the area where the bee stung you. But if you like this video, the bee won't sting you. So bees usually leave their stinger behind, which looks like a small barb stuck in your skin. Gently remove it, don't squeeze it. After that, clean the area well with soap and water. If a bee suddenly stings you, don't panic. First, check the area where the bee stung you. But if you like this
Look, this hotel tricks people into spending money. They offer a free bread challenge. If anyone can finish the entire bread along with everything inside, they don't have to pay. But the catch is what's inside the bread is almost impossible to eat. When the waiter cuts it open, 1 to 2 kilograms of extremely spicy filling pours out. Seeing this, both of them immediately hit the like button.
Don't buy these luxury cakes. Even why do ballerinas destroy? Avocados were once on the path to extinction, but humans helped save them. Long ago, giant animals spread their large seeds across the land. When those animals disappeared, avocados lost their natural way of reproducing, but humans started growing and farming them, helping the fruit survive. And now the avocados are growing for everyone who
What's going on? Rob the Oilfield Angler. Got a box in today from Creek Life Lure Company. Yes, beautiful. There it is. Keep in mind, everybody who places an order in June and uses the code FINADDICT.
This girl decided to take revenge on her angry neighbor using just one shoe. She placed the shoe on the snow-covered car and made footprints on it, creating 2 clear marks on the snow. After that, she poured orange juice over the snow in such a way that it looked like a child had climbed onto the car in the middle of the night and peed on it. But she said that if 5 people liked the video— Hey friend.
A young woman is gently swiping her credit card through the water, and many visitors to the fountain are doing the same. For years, people have been accustomed to tossing coins into the fountain, driven by the belief that if you toss a coin, the city of Rome will eventually call you back. However, after a video of workers retrieving thousands of coins from the fountain went viral online, some began to suspect it was all a scam, so they came up with a new trick. Instead of tossing coins, they started swiping their credit cards. A young woman is gently swiping her credit card through the water, and many visitors to the fountain are doing the same. For years, people have been accustomed to tossing coins into the fountain, driven by the belief that if you toss a coin, the city of Rome will eventually call you.
When this boy saw that it was raining, he ran outside to enjoy the rain. He had a great time playing, but when he came back home, he was completely covered in mud. His dog was just as muddy as he was. Seeing the mess, his mom got very upset and told him to give the dog a bath. The boy took his dog to the bathroom, washed him carefully, and cleaned him up really well. After the bath, he gave his dog a fun makeover, and by the end, the dog looked just like a tiger.
If you give a banana to an elephant, it will open its mouth and eat it. But when you give it a coconut, it will take the coconut into its mouth, but it won't eat it because elephants are very intelligent. It knows that you gave it the coconut without peeling it, so it takes the coconut back out with its trunk. Then it breaks the coconut with its feet and eats the soft part inside, and it'll eat those who forgot to like it. If you give a banana to—
When the internet accused this— When iShowSpeed came to watch—
A girl was kept inside a strong glass pod by her parents because she was allergic to air and could not go outside. Every day, her parents gave her food through a small door, and she could only talk to them through the glass. She thought her life would always stay like this. But then everything changed. The whole city started filling with poisonous smoke, and anyone who breathed it died. People started running to save their lives, but the
hairdresser was about to cut her hair when he noticed that the girl had been in a motorcycle accident. Due to a head injury, she had lost a patch of hair, but with only 2 days left until the wedding, she had to find a way to cover the wound, or the wedding might have to be cancelled. Fortunately, the hairdresser made her a perfect wig that looked completely real. Even more surprisingly, he told the girl he wouldn't— This little boy went trick-or-treating, but his mom was thinking about the worst. Before he even walked out the door, she secretly clipped an Apple AirTag onto his costume because she didn't trust the world. Then she carefully placed tiny candles inside his candy bucket so it would glow softly in the dark. A few hours later, he finally came back, but his mom quickly took the candy, dumped everything.
Stay strong.
Red card 2.
A man comes to a poor girl to get his shoes polished. While sitting there, he notices the girl's torn shoes and a piece of bread near her. The girl carefully polishes his shoes, but the man rudely walks away without paying her, which makes the girl very sad. After a while, the man returns with some things in his hands, and the poor girl looks at him in surprise. Then the man gently removes her torn.
These 3 friends planned a fun game. Everyone had to bring a jumping toy. 2 of them showed up with proper toys, but the girl in the middle came holding a shovel instead. People around started laughing at her, but she didn't get upset. She just wanted to enjoy the moment with her friends. Even without the right toy, she stayed happy and kept playing. But she wasn't fully happy because she only got 2 likes.
Have you ever wondered how skydivers can actually walk in midair? Well, it's one of the most challenging moves in skydiving, and it's seriously hard. See, for a normal person jumping out of a plane, the easiest and most relaxed position is just lying belly down with your arms and legs stretched out. That way, you catch.
When the little kid tried to move a piece of bread onto his plate, it slipped out of his hand and dropped to the floor. The older kid standing behind him saw it happen and stepped in right away. With a soft smile, he grabbed another piece from the tray and set it gently on the little kid's plate. As the younger one walked off, the older kid picked up a cup of juice and handed it to him too. Then he quietly.
If you have some tissue paper lying around, this might be the cutest squishy you can make. Tear the tissue into tiny pieces and bunch them together into a soft little ball. Wrap it tightly with plastic wrap, trim the excess, and seal it with tape. Now draw cute faces, animals, or any design you want. Cover it with one more layer of plastic wrap to keep everything protected. Make a few tiny holes so it squeezes properly. And
did you know that without this one ring, 2 trains could crash head-on? Sounds absurd, but this was once how railways prevented disasters. Back then, many lines had only a single track, which meant if 2 trains entered at the same time, a collision was inevitable. No cameras, no electronics. Instead, they used a metal ring. Each section had only one.
If you ever go to Japan, then don't leave without trying this girl's special omelet, because she is so skilled that she can literally write anything on the omelet within seconds. And she is also famous for making custom love omelets. The shocking part is that she only charges $5 for one omelet. Give a like for this image. If you ever go to Japan, then don't leave without trying.
He was dared to cover himself with wasps, and it turned out to be the worst mistake of his life, because after he started putting them down his shirt, nothing happened right away. He kept doing it, laughing and showing off for the camera. But seconds later, everything changed. The wasps suddenly became aggressive and started swarming all over him. He started panicking, but the more he moved, the worse it got. He was dared to cover himself with wasps, and it turned.
After this girl got a phone for her cat that tracks and calls him, she never expected her cat to do this.
Got my whole cat a phone, and it tracks him. And when I want him to come home, not only does it track him, when I want him to come home, I can call him, and it really calls him. You'll be back when I call you. So we just found out that he goes where he's not.
This is why stop motion is one of the hardest art forms in the world, because every time he clicks this foot pedal, he's only taking one single.
Hey, you poor old man, look at this. I'm putting a rotten duck in your net now. Not a single fish is going to come.
Oh dear Mimi, it doesn't work like that. I've been catching fish with this same rotten duck for 55 years.
Oh, come on, old man. That's not going to change anything. Not a single fish will get into your net.
All right, dear Mimi, but what if they do?
If even one fish gets caught in this net, then these lovely kids will like and subscribe to your.
This little puppy was walking alone on the road. The man thought the puppy was very cute. He gently picked it up, gave it some affection, and placed it in his car. Then he took it home. The puppy happily ate the food he was given. The family's little girl loved playing with it, and the man cared for it as his own. When winter came, he even took the puppy out with his too large wool.
This girl was looking for a way to escape from the vehicle she was trapped in. Instead of panicking, she carefully examined her surroundings. First, she reclined her seat and tried to move to the back of the vehicle. Then she searched for the button that would open the trunk, but she couldn't find it. Time was running out, and with every passing second, she became more worried. Just when she was about to lose hope, she finally spotted the.
Your TV suddenly has black spots.
This is the strongest crocodile in the world, because after a group of kids attacked this poor baby crocodile and left it to die in the wild, it never gave up and was eventually spotted and rescued, and now lives an extremely happy life in captivity. But ever since it's attacked, it became traumatized.
This guy has a demon back and he has never stepped foot in a gym. Meet Dai Long Huynh. 5 years of pure calisthenics, elite genetics, and a high protein diet that built a physique most gym rats will spend their entire life chasing and never achieve. Then competitive bodybuilders don't have aesthetics like this.
Before leading Japan.
Bro got beef with the snow.
Finish him.
Why is this so satisfying? Bro got aimbot. This is so cool. How is this possible?
She was a fairy.
This man has refused to touch the floor for the last 10 years because he is convinced that the floor is lava, and if he accidentally steps on it, he will instantly get burned. That is why whenever he wants to watch TV, he first climbs onto the refrigerator and then jumps straight onto the couch. When he needs to use the bathroom, he moves across doors, walls, and furniture while staying completely off the floor. Even every night. Did you know why this spider hides under the sand? Because this is a camel spider, and it buries itself underground to ambush its prey. As soon as a beetle gets too close, it suddenly jumps out and grabs it with its legs. But sometimes the beetle is way too big for it to eat completely, so instead of staying in the desert, it'll crawl into the beds of people who don't like it. Did you know why this spider hides under the sand? Because this is a camel spider.
Look, what did this boy see that made him drop his ice cream? Actually, this was the boy's first time visiting a zoo. There, he spotted an elephant, but it was no ordinary elephant. It was a painting elephant. Holding a brush with its trunk, the elephant began creating artwork. First, it started painting, and then it completed a beautiful masterpiece filled with trees and plants. The painting was so impressive that it looked even better than what many humans.
If you ever find a baby bird that looks like this, never just walk away. He was found cold and alone on.
Why wouldn't she just knock on the...
You won't believe how much these cats cost. The last one is almost impossible to own. Number 4, Sphinx.
This father and son...
This is me, and it's always been a dream of mine to sit in first-class seats. Because no offense, economy kinda sucks. And although this is my 6th time trying, I honestly have a really good feeling.
When these two girls went to ride a $500 swing, after sitting down, they didn't feel like they were getting a $500 experience. And when they told this to the guy running the swing, he said the real ride was just about to start. Then he went behind the swing and suddenly pushed it for the first time, but the swing still didn't pick up speed. So this time, he pushed it with all his strength. As soon as the swing started moving...
Sorry, what's the secret to becoming rich?
This is why ranchers always tap a cow 3 times before giving it an injection. It's not for luck. A startled cow can move so suddenly that the needle bends or slips out of place, so the taps give the brain a gentle rhythm to follow, so the cow stays calm. This is why ranchers always tap a cow 3 times before giving it an injection. It's not...
This girl was so focused before her skateboarding competition that even her opponent looked intimidated. And when the moment finally came to perform, she proved that she was more than ready. This girl was so focused before her skateboarding competition that even her opponent... The manual installation of paving blocks is carried out with great precision. Workers deftly arrange block by block on the ground, ensuring each piece fits precisely to create a perfect outdoor floor pattern. The manual installation of paving blocks is carried out with great precision. Workers deftly arrange block by block on the ground, ensuring...
I'm a professional, don't try this at home. I'm a professional, don't try this at home. I'm a professional, don't try this at home.
4 animals with attacks so fast they look like a glitch. Number 1, Trapjaw Ant. This tiny ant has one of the fastest attacks in nature. Its jaws snap shut in a fraction of a millisecond, hitting so fast that high-speed cameras are needed to capture it. Number 2, Crocodile. The crocodile can bite down faster than a human can blink. One moment
When the girl woke up, she found that her sandals were missing and immediately became anxious, searching everywhere. She discovered that her friend was holding the sandals. Her friend probably thought they were a plush toy. When she got the sandals back, she was puzzled as she couldn't wear them at all. It turned out that the sandals had been sewn together. This made her very sad because the cute sandals could no longer be worn. What was even—
I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm watching TV. I'm looking at you. Fuck you. I'm dead again. I'm up. I can run faster than a bitch around. I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm watching TV. I'm looking at you. Fuck you. I'm dead again. I'm up. I can run faster than a bitch around. I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm watching TV.
This photographer came up with an incredibly clever idea for a photo shoot. Instead of using a regular background, she used a transparent plastic sheet while photographing the couple. After taking the photo, she designed a food-style foam tray packaging with an expiration date label placed on top. Once everything was combined, the final image surprised many people. It carried a satirical message comparing
When the chef accidentally dropped a kebab into hot sauce, nobody could get it out. The chef tried and failed, the intern tried and also failed. Then the boss walked in, he reached straight and pulled it out and wrapped it into a shawarma like it was nothing. The 2 chefs were completely speechless.
Look, when this boy saw the 2 separate statues of a mother and child, he felt as though the child wanted to get closer to the mother, but couldn't quite reach her. He strained with all his might, trying to move the child's statue toward the mother, but the statue didn't budge an inch. He felt very sad, so he placed one hand on the mother's hand and the other on the child's hand, trying to pull them together. Finally, the child began to cry, because
Watch how this daughter answered a tricky question. Her mom asked if we were—
My dad just found out about the Uno reverse card and he's literally—
Watch the
milk. Oh, that's my bell that rings every time you like this video or subscribe. Please just ignore it. But somehow, when I take the milk from the big glass and pour it into the small glass, it fits perfectly. What?
If your child asks to use a public bathroom, be careful, because when this dad took his daughter into the women's restroom, he immediately noticed something strange. A man was standing inside pretending to dry his hands, trying to act normal. The father stopped and kept staring at him, confused about why he was there. Then he started confronting him, but the man barely had anything to say and quickly tried to walk away like nothing happened.
Who goes to Red Lobster and say, let me get a lobster? Who they order? Who goes to Red Lobster and say, let me get a lobster? Who they order? Who goes to Red Lobster and say, let me get a lobster? Who they order?
This dad secretly cuts his daughter's candy.
Let's see what's in the water. Right when I got in the water,
Kevin actually turned a discarded water bucket into a super submarine. The inside was plenty roomy and could fit 5 people easy, but the bucket floated really well, so making it sink to the ocean floor was the big challenge. Kevin planned to cut out 3 viewing windows. That way they could enjoy the underwater views anytime while diving. He used a hot glue gun to seal the joints tight. If water got in, it would be total disaster. Everyone would be wiped out. They were straight up risking their lives. They filled foam boards around the outside of the bucket to make it waterproof and shape it better. Turns out that also—
You are not going to believe me when I tell you this, but I swear it's true. I was outside enjoying some fresh, crunchy sea balls when I realized I'm late for my shrimp surgery appointment. So I put my sea balls in my pocket and ran to my office. And there awaited Katarina. Now, Katarina's dreams of becoming a single mother were being halted by an invasive, blood-sucking isopod parasite called Orthione griffinus. So I very carefully—
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There is a cloud that refuses to leave. Day after day, hour after hour, it appears in exactly the same place. People have compared it to a giant UFO, and from a distance, it's easy to see why. Yet the winds around it can be moving at more than 100 kilometers per hour. Some pilots even avoid flying near these clouds.
Después de cocer el pato ya preparado, la chica estaba a punto de rellenar su interior, pero al probar el relleno, enseguida se dio cuenta de que algo no estaba bien. Entonces probó la muestra proporcionada por los jueces, y rápido.
I designed a 3D printable telephone booth to lock up your cell phones so that you can spend time with real people. But even though it's great for keeping everyone off their phones, once you're done hanging out, you can just remove the roof to go back to scrolling. I designed a 3D printable telephone booth to lock up your cell phones so that you can spend time with real people. But even though it's great for
little things in Japan that shows big thinking. First, in Japan, pudding containers comes with a special switch at the bottom. You simply place it upside down on a plate and press the switch, which breaks the seal and releases air. The pudding then slides out in one smooth motion, leaving nothing behind in the container. Next, in Japan,
when this kid ran into a clown, the most unexpected thing happened. The clown set his bat aside and pulled out a pair of sunglasses. At first, everyone thought he just wanted—
This child worked really hard at the beach to build this pathway because he truly believed that when the water arrived, it would flow through the path and collect perfectly in one place. He sat there peacefully, watching the view with excitement, but suddenly water started entering from the other side. Seeing this, the child got really scared and ran quickly to stop the water, but by then, it was already too late. The entire area filled up with water.
What happens if you put different Mentos into a bottle of cola and seal it with a bunch of balloons? A man is holding a bottle of cola, several balloons, and different kinds of Mentos. But first, he decided to test a smaller version of the experiment. He placed 2 giant bottles of cola on a
Will we find a tank or a fish first? Let's go.
I started searching everywhere, but everywhere I looked, it was just seagrass. No fish.
3, vámonos. El primero es un Ferrari. Llega el propulsor, ok. Da la vuelta y se detiene. Ahí. 2, 3. Ok. Sube, baja, propulsor, avanza, curva y se queda a la mitad.
Why did this player lose 6 kilos in a match? Look at Hulk, drenched in sweat. He entered the match weighing 97.7 kilos.
An American soldier was cutting a football-shaped ball while his comrades were defending against an army of Soviet tanks, approaching very fast towards their trenches. They did this because whenever Americans prepared their grenades and tried to throw them at a large distance, these would usually fail and cause a mistaken explosion. But as Americans were naturally good at throwing football, they realized they could use these with Here are 4 of the craziest treasures ever found washed up on the beach. In 2021, a teenager walking his dog after a storm noticed a dull, greenish metal disc tangled in some seaweed. It turned out to be a pristine 17th century silver coin worth around $55,000. But wanting it to look shiny and new, he scrubbed it with...
The hornet's coming. Everybody, like and subscribe so the hornet doesn't get me. No, it's back. Everybody, like and subscribe so I don't get stung and die. It's on the ground. Okay, if you guys like, I'm gonna jump down and go right on.
Every tennis ball is covered in fuzz, while football, cricket, basketball, none of them are. So
stop cutting the edges of your toenails in a curve, or else this is exactly what will happen. Most people do this because they think it makes their nails look neater, but it can actually lead to terrible ingrown toenails, because the nail will just keep growing along that curved shape, which means it can end up... Scientists were stunned when these monkeys started running a ransom business. At a temple in Bali, monkeys used to steal food from visitors, but when food was restricted, they came up with a new strategy. Instead of stealing snacks, they began stealing phones, glasses, and other valuable items. At first, people thought the monkeys were grabbing random objects, but researchers discovered...
Experienced music teachers, what are some conceptual ideas you've had?
This is the first humanoid invented back in 2017.
We're looking at Oscar, the first human modular prototype that is able to live in various setups. Now what's going to happen is that I'm going to connect the brain to the heart module to activate.
This little boy came to a pond with his mom to feed the fish, but his mom only let him throw in 1 spoonful of food at a time. The boy said, "There are so many fish. What difference is 1 spoonful going to make?" His mom replied, "All right, you can throw in 2 spoonfuls." But that still didn't seem like enough to the boy. Then, as soon as his mom looked away, he saw his chance and dumped the entire bucket of fish food into the water. But the boy still wasn't happy because nobody had liked his video. This little boy came to a pond with his mom to feed the fish.
People are saying this man isn't even human, but why? Well, during a competition, he jumped so unbelievably far that the officials were left completely stunned. People are saying this man isn't even human, but why?
In the 1960s in Canberra, one midnight hookup changed gay rights in Australia forever. If that's piqued your interest, then I recommend clicking the link below.
These are the 3 coolest scissors you might ever see. First, if you're a girl, press the like button. But if you're a boy, don't forget to subscribe. Number 3, laser scissors. With the help of a laser beam, these scissors can make straight cuts more easily and neatly. Number 2, plastic scissors. Made entirely of plastic, these scissors can't cut most objects, making them safer.
Andrei Smayev, the Russian Hulk, just explained how to do perfect pull-ups to build a demon back like his. First, your grip width needs to be wider than shoulder width. Second, when you pull up, your elbows must never drift forward or flare back. They go straight down, parallel to the body, the entire movement. And third, absolutely...
Everybody who scrolls gets this plane. Everybody who doesn't like gets this plane. Everybody who doesn't comment gets this plane.
This is why mother birds do something that looks shocking, but is actually genius. When a bird feeds her babies, she waits until they're done eating. And then comes the twist. The babies release a soft food pouch full of undigested leftovers. Instead of leaving it in the nest, the mother eats it immediately. It's not waste, it's just unused nutrients. And removing it keeps the nest clean and...
If you get purple, there's a demon behind you.
The 2 sisters were both pregnant, yet they lost their beloved husbands on the very same day. Ever since then, they have gone to the beach every day to pray to God, hoping only that their unborn children would be born safely. However, on the day of delivery, the older sister suffered an accident. In her despair, the younger sister ran to the beach and wrote her sister's name in the sand. To her surprise, the tide miraculously...
Look, today, this girl had to go to school in a fancy costume because it was fancy dress day. But her mom didn't know how to dress her up. Suddenly, she got an idea. She thought her daughter's face was round and looked like a strawberry. Mom grabbed a brush and started painting a strawberry on her face. She even added green leaves on top. During all this, the girl made the cutest expression.
People keep asking me, what's your dream job? Excuse me. I would never dream about working. People keep asking me, what's your dream?
As soon as this dad put his child to bed, he immediately started cleaning the house at full speed because his wife was coming home from a long trip and the house was an absolute mess. Toys, books, and gadgets were lying everywhere. But the moment this guy started cleaning, he began moving at lightning speed because he wanted everything to look perfect before his wife came home. But right when he finally...
While trying to catch fish, this man comes across an extremely deep hole. When he uses a stick to check the depth, The entire stick disappears inside. Even so, he jumps in, because deep holes like this are often filled with fish hiding below the surface. While trying to catch fish, this man comes across an extremely deep hole.
As she cracks open a coconut and throws away the water, it's turning into something people have relied on for centuries. The flesh is crushed and ground down, breaking from a firm structure into a smooth white milk. As it's slowly heated, this ordinary liquid begins to split, releasing a layer of oil where all the real value sits, setting into a pale, solid...
What time do Barcelona players arrive for training? Barca normally trains at 9:30 in the morning, and De Jong is always the first to arrive at 8:28. Then comes Dani Olmo, followed by Joao Cancelo. Szczesny arrives at 9:01, same as Bernal, Pedri, and Ferran, who show up at 9:06. Lewandowski arrives at 9:23, and the one who was late this
How do you summon a hummingbird that flies in circles around you? First, the color has to be bright. Hummingbirds are extremely sensitive to vivid colors because they use their vision to find flowers. Second, hummingbirds absolutely love sugar water. A cup of freshly mixed white sugar water at 80 degrees Fahrenheit is basically the
This woman fell into a...
This child worked really hard at the beach to build this pathway because he truly believed that when the water arrived, it would flow through the path and collect perfectly in one place. He sat there peacefully, watching the view with excitement. But suddenly, water started entering from the other side. Seeing this, the child got really scared and ran quickly to stop the water. But by
These three friends planned a fun game. Everyone had to bring a jumping toy. Two of them showed up with proper toys, but the girl in the middle came holding a shovel instead. People around started laughing at her, but she didn't get upset. She just wanted to enjoy the moment with her friends. Even without the right toy, she stayed happy and kept playing, but she wasn't fully happy because she only got 2 likes.
This man accidentally caught a shark that seemed to be smiling at him while he was fishing. The man smiled back and released the shark back into the ocean. 5 years later, while exploring the ocean, the man was surprised to see a shark approach.
Por eso nunca debes subestimar el momento al pescar. Exactamente.
Imagine running through hanging electric wires while getting shocked with 10,000 volts every second.
This airline doesn't allow dogs to sit in passenger seats, but this man insisted on bringing his dog with him. He promised the staff that his dog wouldn't cause any trouble because he was very well-mannered. At first, they didn't believe him and asked him to prove it. So he told his dog to follow every test they gave, and the dog obeyed perfectly. The staff were surprised and even more impressed when
I had that one viewer, and that viewer made me keep going. And each day and more, week 2, I started averaging 4 viewers. Week 3, 8 viewers. Week 4, 20 viewers. So on and so on and so on. So I streamed every day. I had that one viewer, and that viewer made me keep going.
Most people think the tortoise and the hare is just a story, but someone actually tested it in real life. The tortoise stayed focused and kept walking straight along the track without stopping. Meanwhile, the hare kept doing what hares do. It would sprint ahead, then stop. Sprint ahead again, then stop. And by the end of the race, the result looked...
These kids found something terrifying buried on the beach because while walking through the sand, they came across a sealed jar filled with a thick, strange liquid. But when they looked closer, they realized there was a photo trapped inside. They opened the jar and started cleaning the sticky liquid off the picture. And that's when they saw a woman staring back at them. They flipped the photo over and noticed a message written on the back.
Este chico compra camisetas simples por menos de $10 y las convierte en prendas que vende hasta en 40. Mira esto. Primero toma una camiseta básica y le agrega un diseño exclusivo con estampado profesional, haciendo que se vea como una marca premium. Después le quita la etiqueta genérica y coloca la suya.
This baby octopus was trapped inside a seashell, but when the man tried to free it, it quickly climbed onto his hand and even up his arm, almost as if it didn't want to leave him. So the man decided to take it home and take care of it instead. He even brought a small crab to keep it company, but the octopus immediately ate it. However, the man wasn't angry about it and just moved it to a bigger tank while taking care of it. At first, the octopus...
Son, take your feather, put it in the bag.
Let's see who's got the guts. Wow, awesome job. You didn't even flinch. Totally kept a straight face. James, your turn, buddy. Let's see if you're as brave as Bella.
Oh, no, wait. I admit it, I'm a scaredy cat. Just let Bella do it.
Let's see who's got the guts. Wow, awesome job. You didn't even flinch. Totally kept a straight...
3 things in Japan that just make sense. First, there's a shop in Japan where you can find giant...
If Mr. Beast gave you 1 minute to grab anything in the store for free, which item should you get? Most people would fill their carts with whatever is closest to them, which leaves them with 2 weeks of groceries. But don't panic and start dropping items while filling your cart either. Mr. Beast could disqualify you, saying it's part of the rules. So instead, run straight to the electronics section.
What time do PSG players arrive for training? Paris normally trains at 9 in the morning, and Luis Enrique is always the first to arrive on his bike at 7 on the dot. Then comes Donnarumma, followed by Gonzalo Ramos. Zaire Emery arrives at 7:44, same as Fabian Ndoué. Vitinha shows up at 8:30. Hakimi arrived right at 9.
Today is Teacher's Day, and all the students have carefully prepared gifts. The first student brought a strawberry cake that was almost perfectly shaped, and the teacher loved it. The second student brought a strawberry cake that could stand on its own, and the teacher loved that one too. Next, the teacher thought the third student's cake was very creative. When it was the last student's turn, the teacher thought the cake was terrible.
Why do you keep calling me? Aquí están tres de las cosas.
This woman's bed started shaking in the middle of the night, so her corgi went under the bed to check, but came out just moments later. Still, the shaking didn't stop, while her other 2 dogs stayed right beside her. Finally, she decided to check for herself, but what she found completely shocked her. One by one, all her dogs started crawling out from under the bed. Turns out they were just having a little late night.
I thought this was a stick until it started moving. I thought this was a stick until it started moving.
Whoa, look at those bubble gums. They look so delicious.
The girl wanted to train her waist, so she decided to try a roly-poly performance. Unexpectedly, the performer immediately agreed. However, when she stepped on it, she could only rock back and forth and could not spin. The performer personally demonstrated the technique and taught her how to do it. This time, the girl quickly learned it. Seeing this, the performer invited her to officially join the stage show. She also...
Careful, careful.
This boy was late for...
41
She found a machine that can literally print any hair color, and the result is shocking.
This is the world's first personalized hair color creator, and it's basically like a printer before your hair color. This is the conditioner base, then we have the 3 primary colors. Just insert it into the corresponding slot. For the fun part,
This guy was out on his boat when he spotted a tiny parrot in serious trouble, and what he did next got him heavily criticized by people who had no idea what they were actually watching. The little bird was clinging to a column in the water, barely holding on, completely out of strength. He reached out with his oar and tried to lift it to safety, but the parrot was...
When this little girl saw her favorite cartoon character, she couldn't contain her excitement. She ran over, gave them a big hug, and even offered her favorite snack to share.
Why do football goals have nets? You might think it's to hear that satisfying sound when the ball goes in, or simply because it looks good, but the real reason will actually surprise you. In the early days, football was played with just 2 wooden posts, but there was a huge...
You're probably fixing knots the hardest way possible. When this firefighter noticed a knot in his extremely long rope, most people would have pulled the entire rope through and started all over again. Instead, he used a clever shortcut. By looping the knot around himself and the bag, he removed it instantly without all the extra effort. Would you call this genius? You're probably fixing knots the hardest.
This girl wanted to know which cat stepped on her banana. She measured Luna's paw first, but it wasn't her. Then Zoe's turn came. Zoe tried to run, but she grabbed her and measured. It was a 99% match. She placed Zoe's paw on the banana to confirm. Guilty! Zoe is punished until everyone likes the video. This girl wanted to
Este chico empezó a tirar de la sábana hacia sí mismo y luego la arrastró hasta el pie de la cama. Después, colocó una pesada barra encima y se acostó junto a su novia. Más tarde, su novia intentó volver a tirar de la manta hacia sí misma, pero por más que lo intentó, no se movió. Y él dijo que ella no lo deja en paz hasta que él le...
This is Chucky's little brother. Whenever someone calls him ugly, he goes crazy and takes revenge. When this old man scolded his son for bringing this ugly bear home, the Chinese doll became angry and decided to get revenge on him. The next day, he tried to electrocute him with high-voltage electricity, but the plan...
Look, this guy pulled such a hilarious prank in the mall that people couldn't stop laughing. He secretly
Think this is just a jellyfish.
Look, this guy pulled such a hilarious prank in the mall that people couldn't stop laughing. He secretly stuck a free Wi-Fi QR code on the wall. Now, anyone passing by instantly pulled out their phone and scanned it for free internet. The moment the scan finished, instead of Wi-Fi opening, something totally unexpected popped up on the screen. Like for this guy, a giant gorilla suddenly appeared on his phone. And now, a real gorilla will be sent after the people who forgot to like and subscribe. Look, this guy pulled such a hilarious prank in the mall that people couldn't stop laughing. He secretly stuck a free
Think this is just a jellyfish. We're already in danger. This is the Portuguese manowar, a floating colony of venomous organisms. Its tentacles can grow over 100 feet long and instantly paralyze fish. But here's the disturbing part. Even a dead one can still sting you. And it's not one animal dog, it's thousands fused into one ocean nightmare. Think this is just a jellyfish. We're already in danger. This is the Portuguese manowar, a floating colony of venomous organisms. Its tentacles can grow over 100.
This girl grabs a rope, runs across the street, and ties it to a pole, completely blocking the road. Drivers are honking like crazy and yelling at her to get out of the way. But then she suddenly climbs right up the rope. At first, nobody gets what she's doing. But then everyone realizes that, so as not to hold up traffic, she only performs her acrobatic stunts when the walk signal is green. This girl grabs a rope.
Today was the day this little baby finally had his cast removed. When the doctor started cutting it with scissors, he didn't look scared at all. The sweetest part was how calmly he watched the doctor the entire time without a single tear. The doctor couldn't believe how brave such a tiny child could be, so he carefully finished taking the whole cast off. And for courage like this, he only got 2 likes. Today was the day this little baby finally had his cast removed. When the doctor started cutting it with scissors, he didn't look scared at all. The sweetest part was how calmly he watched the doctor the entire time without a single tear. The doctor couldn't believe how brave such a tiny child could be, so he carefully finished taking the whole cast off. And for courage like this, he only got 2 likes. Today was the day
This guy wore 16 life jackets to see what would happen. But first, he started with just 1 life jacket so he could compare the difference. And with every jacket he added, he floated higher and higher in the water. But when he finally put on the maximum number of life jackets possible, he was shocked by what happened when he jumped in the water. Because take a look at this.
16 life jackets.
Who is the mysterious man who always appears at the top of football stadiums? During the Champions League semifinals, in the match between PSG and Bayern, a very strange man appeared at the very top of the stadium. But this isn't the first time. During Taylor Swift's concert at the Bernabeu, he also appeared up there completely alone. You might think it's dictator Mbappe or some kind.
Have you ever wondered that when a baby snake comes out of its egg, it is believed to be even more dangerous and aggressive than a big snake? This is because when adult snakes bite someone, they can control their venom and release it little by little. But when a baby snake bites, it releases all the venom from its body at once in a single bite. That's why bites from small...
Oh!
No!
This little otter spotted a bowl of ice. Sometimes a cat gets stuck in a pipe whose bottom part is blocked by the ground. It goes inside from the top, but it can't turn back because the pipe is so narrow that it becomes difficult for the cat to even turn its body. If no one helps it in there, the cat can also die from hunger and suffocation. However, now you will also get stuck.
Hey, you poor old man, look at this. I'm putting a rotten duck in your net. Now not a single fish is going to come.
Oh, Freya dear, it doesn't work like that. I've been catching fish with this same rotten duck for 55 years.
Oh, come on, old man. That's not going to change anything. Not a single fish will get into your net.
All right, Freya dear, but what if they do?
If even one fish...
This boy was feeling really emotional because after almost 10 years, his sister was finally coming back home on Christmas. To surprise her, he decided to make a clay pot with his own hands. But while shaping it, one tiny mistake caused the entire pot to crack apart. Even after that, he refused to quit. He grabbed fresh clay and started the whole thing over from the beginning. After spending nearly 6 hours...
Sha'Carri Richardson had a terrible start.
After school, this little boy arrived home and found the roadside drain completely flooded with water. He stood there at the edge, unable to cross, not knowing what to do. That's when a biker passing by noticed him struggling. Without hesitating for a second, he stopped, got off his bike, picked the boy up, and carefully carried him across to the other side. The boy was safe.
As smart parents, these parenting tips are a must-know. 1. If a child often puts on the wrong shoes, you can stick matching patterns on the shoes. This way, they can clearly tell them apart and will never wear the wrong shoes again. 2. If a child accidentally sticks a sticker on their face, you can use tape.
When this family was building their new home, they decided to make the moment unforgettable. First, the father stepped into the wet cement to leave his footprint. Then the mother did the same. After that, they gently pressed their newborn baby's tiny foot into the cement. Next came their older daughter's turn. But when it was finally their dog's turn, he started running around and left paw prints.
The bride canceled her wedding just hours before it began. She had received heartbreaking news. Her grandmother was in a car accident and couldn't make it. Without changing out of her dress, she rushed to the hospital, hoping to see her one last time, but fate wasn't kind. A few days later, her grandmother passed away. When the wedding was finally held, she reserved a special seat for her grandmother.
At first glance, it may seem like this man's job is extremely easy, but in reality, he spent 4 years gaining experience to learn and perfect this skill. His job is to decorate food on a plate in such a way that it gives a completely luxurious and premium look. What normally takes ordinary people a long time to do, he can accomplish in just a matter of seconds. Give a like for this image.
I'm going to hit you, Brick. Good job, I was testing you and you earned...
Look at this school race. This kid is very lucky because his dad is a real athlete. As soon as the kid passes the stick, the dad runs with full power. He leaves all the other fathers far behind. He is a professional runner. It is shocking because no one else can even get close to him. The other parents even disappear.
Fortunately, a few minutes later, good news finally arrived. Alexander regained consciousness and left the field with no danger to his life. At that moment, the entire stadium rose to its feet and applauded. That day, football reminded everyone of one thing. Life is far more important than any match, and the power of humanity is more precious.
Top 5 crochet creations. The LeBron James will shock you. Honestly, this is amazing for a first try. She absolutely deserves a like for this. The dress is stunning.
The doctor told the mother that her child had only 2 months left to live. Hearing this broke her heart, but she didn't lose hope. While her little boy was asleep, she gently dipped his tiny hands and feet into a thick green liquid and carefully made perfect prints of them. She then painted those little prints with love and placed them in a frame, turning them into a precious memory that would last forever. But sadly,
This deer had fallen into deep mud and couldn't get out. A kind man noticed it and after a lot of effort, managed to rescue it. He brought the deer home, cleaned it, and fed it milk with a feeder. The little deer soon became friends with the family dog and slowly started growing up. It spent its days exploring outside but always came back home. The deer had finally found a loving... This deer had fallen into deep mud and couldn't get out. A kind man noticed it and after a lot of effort, managed to rescue it. He brought the deer home, cleaned it, and fed it milk with a feeder. The little deer soon became friends with the family dog and slowly started growing up. It spent its days exploring outside but always came back home. The deer had finally found a loving family. But this wonderful family got only 2 likes. This deer had fallen into deep mud and couldn't get out. A kind man noticed it and after a lot of effort,
these people are waiting just to peek inside one tiny hole. This place in Switzerland became a weird tourist spot. They look inside, then walk away silent. Because once you see it, you can't spoil the secret, so it stays hidden until you lean in and see it yourself. These people are waiting just to peek inside.
If you ever find yourself buried alive, here's how to survive. Step 1, don't panic. You've got about 2 hours of air.
Look, when this boy was 5, his mom gave him this bed. When he was 6, his dad gave him this bed. When he was 7, his grandmother gave him this bed. When he was 8, his grandfather gave him this bed. When he was 9, his older brother gave him this bed. After he got...
Grandma, you gotta pull that red lever right there. No, you nervous? How about this? If everyone watching likes and subscribes, you have to pull that red lever, okay? Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check. Oh, they liked and they just subscribed. So you have to on 3, 2.
This girl found strange red balls in her field and decided to crush them. Even though at first it might look a little harsh, but she is actually helping the environment because these are apple snail eggs, which cause a lot of damage once they hatch, since these snails multiply very fast and eat almost every plant they encounter. So crushing them is actually an easy way to save farmers a lot of hard work. And if Look, this boy sneaks into his classroom and after sliding a student's chair, he starts running out with it in front of everyone. As soon as they see this, all the students and teachers start chasing him because everyone thinks he's trying to skip class. But when they find out the real reason, even the teachers start praising him. As soon as he leaves the school, he rushes to the red building in front of him.
Wow! Whoa!
This statue... This girl accidentally threw...
Craving something sweet and cool this summer, but short on time?
Get ready for 2 super easy, no-bake DIY treats. First up, frozen yogurt berry bites. Grab Greek yogurt, add a swirl of honey, and mix in your favorite berries. Spoon small dollops onto parchment paper and freeze for an hour.
Look, this bed is so comfortable, it's making billionaires jealous. Even if you jump on it, you won't feel any pain at all because it's not made of foam or springs, but instead it's made of silicone gel. That's why no matter how hard you jump on it, nothing happens to the bed. But for those who don't like this video, 6 or 7 bugs will start crawling toward their bed tonight.
This dog was about to become a mother for the first time, but the pain of becoming a mother was very hard on her. Even walking became difficult for her. Seeing her condition, the owner took great care of her health and paid close attention to her food. Then one day, the dog suddenly felt severe pain, so the owner rushed to the hospital. The doctor immediately began treatment, and soon tiny puppies started coming.
Why do people start moving like this when a fish sticks to them? This fish can latch on with an incredibly strong grip. Most people try to pull it off with their hands, but that only makes it stick even harder. So if there's nobody around to help...
Look at this! Huh? Wow!
Let's try.
Step number 1.
We take the chips out.
Step 2.
We open the can from the bottom. What's wrong?
I can't like and subscribe with my eyes closed.
What's happening here? Need something useful from nothing? First hack. Turn a plastic...
This man loves paint so much that he covered his entire house with colors. One day, he even filled a bucket with shampoo and tried to wash the colors away. He was exhausted by the end of it, but the paint on the house didn't come off at all. People started thinking he had gone crazy. But then he surprised everyone when he revealed that he had done it all on purpose. He said this colorful house was his creation, and now this was his entire world. Give a like for this. On graduation day, the student was so excited that he threw his graduation cap, but it flew into the water. He immediately got worried because he wouldn't be able to graduate without it. So he came up with a clever idea. He stretched out his leg while his friend helped him from the other side. Then he carefully used his foot to move the cap toward the edge. Once it got close enough, he reached out his hand and managed to retrieve it just in time.
There are very small claws attached to the ends of the snake's body. In fact, these are traces of legs that existed long ago. They are cloacal projections found only in primitive snakes, such as boas and pythons. They are usually hidden between the scales, making them difficult to see. Males use them to attract females or to provide stimulation during mating. There are very small claws attached to the ends of the snake's body.
Here are 3 amazing baby gadgets that every parent should need. But first, if you're a girl, tap the like button, but if you're a boy, don't forget to subscribe. Number 1, Baby Safe Nail Trimmer. Normal nail cutters can hurt babies, but this soft trimmer safely smooths their nails without making them cry. Number 2, Baby Shower Shield Cap. Most babies cry when water goes into their eyes, but this smart cap blocks water and shampoo from touching the face, so bath time becomes way easier. Number 3, Cozy Baby Sleep Pod. This giant shoe-shaped...
My brother, life no get duplicate. If food day, chop am o. If they give me 1 million naira, unlimited food for 1 year.
You walk in a car. That is so cool.
Good boy, Billy. You love her, Billy. Good boy.
Billy, I'm sorry, dude. You walk in a car. That is so cool.
Good boy, Billy. You love her, Billy. Good boy.
Billy, I'm sorry, dude. You walk in a car. That is so cool.
Good boy, Billy.
If a beaver ever stops chewing, its own teeth will eventually kill it. Because a beaver's teeth are naturally designed to sharpen themselves, as the back of each tooth is soft, while the front is coated in an extremely dense orange enamel. So every bite wears the back down faster, keeping the edge razor sharp, which is why a beaver can keep grinding on wood forever. But that's also what makes them dangerous, as the moment one gets injured or lazy and stops chewing regularly, it's low-key cooked.
What would happen if you fell into a giant oyster and its shell closed? The oyster would release a sticky liquid that would trap you and suffocate you. After you died, it would start coating you with many smooth, slippery layers, eventually turning you into a human-sized pearl over the years. And it'll happen to those who do not like and subscribe. What would happen?
Come Jellycat shopping with me and my daughter, where today we are still on a mission to find the matcha dragon. The last 2 months have been very unsuccessful, but something literally insane happened. Oh my gosh. The Jellycat store near us restocks every single week, and I'm really hopeful that they have it. Because if they don't, then I might just have to give up. But right when I got inside, you will not believe what I was seeing. Oh my gosh. They had the sweetest dresses for
Christian girls, remember that modesty is not about looking old-fashioned or unattractive. It's carrying yourself in a way that reflects your values and honors God. Christian girls, remember that modesty is not about looking old-fashioned or unattractive. It's carrying yourself in a way that reflects your values and honors God. Christian girls, remember that modesty is not about looking old.
Mom, what are you doing up there? That giant statue hand looks super dangerous. Please come down before someone gets hurt.
Calm down, sweetheart. We're being careful. My friends and I only climbed up for a quick picture, and we'll come back down in a minute.
Mom, what are you doing up there? That giant statue hand looks super dangerous. Please come down before someone...
This mother deer gave birth to a fawn, but sadly ignored.
It's the same old theme since 1916. Eeyore, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns.
Hey there, I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. It is so nice to see you, and I am really glad that we have a moment to connect. Hey there, I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. It is so nice to see you, and I am really glad that we have a moment to connect. Hey there, I hope you are having a wonderful day.
The girl secretly hid the ping pong ball, but Grandma tried several times without seeing it. Grandma even thought the ball had been hid away, so she decided to switch activities and took her granddaughter to play badminton. The girl secretly hid the shuttlecock behind her back again, and Grandma waited a long time without seeing it, thinking the shuttlecock had already hit the ground. Grandma switched to another activity.
The woman wore a giant swimming cap to swim. Unexpectedly, the cap knocked her inflatable ring away. While she swam, the swimming cap floated on the water surface. It looked like her head was floating on the water, and everyone stared at her. When the woman got out of the pool, the swimming cap had already filled with water. She moved with great difficulty. Unexpectedly, her pants got caught and tore. The next second,
Look, this tiny puppy's fur had grown so long that it was impossible for him to see what was in front of him. When his owner found out, he started cutting the puppy's fur. After 6 hours of hard work, the owner finally succeeded in trimming it all. But this puppy still isn't happy because nobody has liked and subscribed yet. Look, this tiny puppy's fur had grown so long that it was
I want to come, Papa. I want to sit in the back. Where are you coming? Go home and Mama will look for you. Oh, no. Anyway, I want to come, Papa. I want to sit on the back tire, guys. Don't tell anyone, okay? Don't like anyone. Boom.
Everyone thought this man didn't even know how to wear a mask. Whenever he tried, it would always stay open on the sides. A woman came and said, "You have to wear it properly." But he laughed and took the mask off again because he knew he couldn't wear it correctly. Then another woman came and showed him the right way. But upon closer look, it turned out it wasn't the man's fault. The mask itself was made upside down. Everyone thought this man didn't even... This beautiful girl had her birthday today, but at home, she did not have a fancy chair for the celebration, so she brought a sticker and carefully stuck it on the wall. She decorated everything with great taste and a simple touch. With just a little creativity and attention to detail, she transformed the space. And just like that, it looked like a luxurious royal throne. Give a like for this image. This
It's really clean.
3 things in Japan that just make sense. First, in Japan, some public benches have built-in solar panels. You can sit down, relax, and charge your phone for free using energy from the sun. It's a simple idea, but surprisingly useful when your battery is running low. Next, Japan sells special kits that let you grow sea monkeys at home. Just add water, pour in the tiny...
Look, after today, none of these kids will ever come back to school again. So before the children left school forever, this principal handed a white ribbon to each student one by one and said, "Kids, if I've ever made any mistakes, please forgive me." Hearing this, all the students became emotional and said, "Principal, you are the best teacher in the world." Then, as soon as the teacher counted 1, 2,
Anyone who has sat around a fire has faced this problem.
What method do players use to break in new boots?
This grandpa fell for a huge prank. While he was in the car with his grandson, he started hearing what sounded like an animal noise. Worried, he got out of the car and searched everywhere. He even opened the trunk to check, but there was nothing there. When he got back in the car, he discovered the truth. His grandson was watching a video on his phone. After that,
This girl's client ordered a pink cake, but he got disappointed when he saw the results. The pink she picked didn't look good enough, so the girl decided she would do her best to fix it. And as you can see, she removed all the decorations from the cake, but because she didn't want them to go to waste, she kept everything. And after that, she added some red color to get
Look, most people plant trees in their yard to make their home look beautiful, but this man did something that very few people would ever.
This girl wanted to find out if her mom was really.
We rescued a malnourished anaconda. While searching for animals in the Amazon savanna, I found something strange in those grasses, and after looking at it more closely, I can't believe it. An anaconda. Oh, look at its skull. Supremely smooth milk.
Hello? How you doing?
Money, anybody?
Is it real money?
It's real money. You can have one object of your choosing.
Can I have that $50 thing?
Sure.
Is there a catch?
No, it's just money that's
Sure.
attached to very heavy objects.
This boy accidentally dropped his money on the floor, and when he looked up, all he could see was a long leg, so he decided to follow it. As he got closer, he noticed it was going up the stairs, and when he reached the second floor, he was shocked, because it went all the way up to the third floor. Then, just as he was about to find out who it belonged to, what happened next was completely unexpected.
This dog was born with only one eye. Because of that, its owner had an idea to make it look like other dogs every day. She chooses an accessory for the eye and carefully places it in the empty space. Sometimes it looks a bit strange.
Miss Rabbit has fainted. Miss Rabbit has fainted again. Miss Rabbit has fainted.
I found this camera buried a foot deep in the river mud. It said waterproof, but this thing was completely flooded. It must have been down there for like a year to be this waterlogged. But then I found the SD card. It was literally falling apart, but it could still be holding on to somebody's precious memories. So I rushed home, cleaned it up, plugged it in. Come on.
Bayern Munich explored a move for 7.
That's why the owner of this hotel can't fire this waiter even if he wants to. He's the only one who knows the secret of putting chocolate on the cake perfectly. First, he makes a small cut in the chocolate so it spreads evenly across the cake. But if the cut is even a little too deep, the whole design can be ruined. He then spreads it carefully with a knife, and within seconds,
This girl just got herself into the biggest trouble of her life. That's because she rented a strawberry orchard for a lot of money, just so she could eat as many strawberries as she wanted. So she quickly started picking the strawberries, but when she looked closely, she realized that half of them were ruined. Afraid of losing money, she started picking them more carefully and even faster, until in just a few minutes, her basket was completely full. However, she realized
this man hatched a rare two-headed turtle, but there was a big problem. It refused to eat. Both heads could move, but neither would touch the food. Following advice from others, he raised the water temperature. A day later, something surprising happened. One head finally started eating, but the other still refused. Doctors later confirmed both heads shared the same stomach, so one eating was enough to keep it alive. This mom turned her little daughter into the cutest strawberry ever. The moment the little girl sat down, her mom grabbed a paintbrush and started drawing tiny strawberries all over her face. Then she added little flowers and cute green leaves on top to make everything look even prettier. While her mom was painting, the little girl stayed completely still and kept making the cutest expressions the entire time.
Oh yeah, see, that is your ulnar nerve, and your ulnar nerve is what we call subluxing. It's just moving around that bone. Yeah. Yep, that's why you get that tingling. Oh yeah.
Those who want to taste real chocolate must select genuine chocolate items from various objects and test them with their teeth. Round 1. The first item is a handsaw. Its shiny blade keeps everyone from choosing it. The second item is a safety helmet. Under the lights, it glows with strong reflection, and no one picks it. The third item is a brick. Its rough surface proves it is a real brick, but Kokubu
was the gold bar that I won from Norman's will actually a gold bar, or was it a prop? So I decided to take this Perth Mint gold bar to a pawn shop, or I guess a jewelry shop or a buy gold place, and see if they could tell me if this is a real gold bar. Hello. I won this from
Here's 3 things I did not know before working on a cruise ship. The food in the buffet doesn't necessarily get thrown away at the end of the night. Instead, if there's something really good that's left over, it winds up downstairs at something that we call midnight mess. And the sooner you get there, the better the food is. I'd say after like an hour, it ends up just being normal crew mess food. I'm having shrimp
Today, the boy rushed to school, but realized he had left a sandal at home just as his dad started the car. He was scared to tell him, but finally said, "Dad, I left a sandal at home." His dad replied angrily, "We're already late, and now you forgot your sandal. Forget it."
This woman's role is...
You don't have to.
This creature just latched onto this woman's leg, and now it's going to suck all her blood until she dies.
Sometimes when a person says something, you should believe them. This boy tells his friends that he can carry 3 70-kilogram sacks on his shoulders, but his
Thank you. Thank you.
This boy was the biggest fan of Mr. Beast. He took on a challenge, no small feast, eating 1,030 Feastables straight just to meet his idol. No matter how late, 4 hours in, the chocolates went slow. 8 hours later, halfway, he still didn't go. And 16 hours in, he finished them all, but Mr. Beast still didn't like his video. This boy was the biggest fan of Mr. Beast. He took on a challenge.
Today we are making my cat a fortress out of cardboard and duct tape. After all of his inspections...
Could your hair hold the weight of a whale? Most people think a single strand of hair is incredibly weak, but that's not completely true. So, how strong is human hair really? I'll explain. But first, if you have hair, tap like, hit subscribe, and share this fast. A single strand of hair can hold about 40 pennies without breaking. If you braided half of your hair into a rope, it could hold a large SUV. And if you braid all of your hair...
Miss, why did you cover that strawberry? What are you doing? I'm helping it grow into the shape of a moon. Look, isn't it lovely? Wow, it's so pretty. Can I have one? Sorry, this is only for people who already pressed.
Bro learned a valuable lesson today. 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 Bro learned a valuable lesson today.
While combing his hair, this guy realized he was going bald, so he took out some black paint and applied it all over his head. After evenly smoothing it with a brush, his hair looked much fuller and darker. But when people questioned if it was real, he grabbed a shampoo and started washing his hair. So when he finally rinses it with water, you can see there's no paint, and in the end, the guy was no longer bald.
For years, this 85-year-old grandma has been working at a tiny ice cream stand in Japan. But one day, her story suddenly went viral when people noticed her eyesight was fading and her swirls never... This girl found a strange creature on the beach, so she decided to take it home and raise it. Every day she
Apple starts with A, chicken starts with C, zebra starts with Z, and happiness starts with H. Wait, that's weird. Because my happiness starts with you.
This swarm of bees landed on a car, and there's a reason why this happens. When a
This man's name is VL, and he's so insanely talented that it doesn't even look real. Most people think anime physics only works in cartoons, but he proves otherwise. Whether it's gliding through the air like Aang, or pulling off impossible one-hand balances like Son Goku, every move looks straight out of an anime. Years of training, strength, and flexibility allow him to do.
Oh my god, Mom! I'm freezing! Give me the blanket, please!
Wait! Why is it so cold? What? There's a very strong Oregon outside. Hey, sweetheart! Wake up quickly! There's a very strong storm outside.
Close the windows tightly so the family doesn't freeze.
Fast! Now let's turn up the car's heating! Even so, it's still very cold. Little one, come with me quickly!
Stop the taxi immediately. Honey, please open the window. I love you so much. Please don't leave me.
I broke up with you. Why won't you leave me alone? Move out of the way right now and let us pass.
I love my wife and hope she forgives me. I'm letting you pass. Please like the video so we can be together again.
When this girl noticed this machine at the gym, she honestly thought somebody installed it the wrong way. So when she tried pushing it forward, nothing even moved at all. She then sat on it and started swinging side to side, still completely confused about what this thing was supposed to do. But right before she walked away from it, she suddenly realized it was a leg press machine. When this girl noticed this...
Why is dark spelled with a K and not a C?
Why?
Because you can't see in the dark. Why is dark spelled with a K and not a C?
Why?
Because you can't see in the dark. Why is dark spelled with a K and not a C?
Why?
Because you can't see.
IShowSpeed shaved his hair just so he could join the monks' training. But why? You've probably noticed that almost every monk is bald. Most people think it's just tradition or so they can move more comfortably, but that's not the real reason. But if you have hair, like and subscribe. The real...
Why is dark
Little things in Japan that surprise outsiders. First, in Japan, they've invented 3 things in Japan. This family went on a vacation together, excited and full of joy. After a few hours on the road, everyone slowly fell asleep in the car. While driving, a dove suddenly flew in front of their windshield, forcing the driver to slow down and stop. Moments later, a truck rushed past and narrowly avoided a serious accident. It felt like God was watching over them that day.
Things in Japan that are extremely strange. First, in Japan. So my friend, I designed my room like this and gave my boyfriend a tour of it. But my boyfriend said that if our bedroom was like this, I'd have to climb on the bed repeatedly to get things out of the cupboard, which I couldn't do. And I couldn't lift the mattress repeatedly to get things out from under the bed. She got angry and smashed my room with a hammer, leaving me to...
It's impossible to make me cry.
I know exactly how to make you cry.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do?
This.
Ow!
What are you did you cry about it?
No, but you're mean. Since I'm their manager, I'm gonna ban you from attending any one of their shows. How about that, Nick? Does that make you cry? What, dude? That's just mean.
It turns out this super genius technology doesn't originate from Japan, even though many people insist it's from there. If you're a big fan of Japan, like this video. If you're not easily fooled, give it a thumbs up. First, a magnetic glass cleaner that can clean both sides at once. It's often called Japanese technology online, but this viral product actually originated in China. Second,
mistakes you should never make with these animals. Number 1, never jump into a bait ball. When thousands of fish suddenly pack into a tight moving ball, it means predators are already attacking. And if you jump in, you place yourself right in the middle of a feeding frenzy. Number 2, never pet a platypus. It looks small and harmless, but males have venomous spurs on their back.
What? You don't have my consent, sir? Come on. You don't have my consent. I'm sorry. Do you?
When a player collapses. Look, if you ever go near a river, never make the same mistake this girl did. When she spotted a red-colored stone near the riverbank, she immediately started digging the ground with a shovel. As she kept removing the soil, the stone started shining even more. And when she finally pulled the entire stone out, she realized it was just an ordinary rock.
You've probably seen people at the beach picking up starfish for selfies, but those cute photos can actually kill them. But before you see why, if you can like and subscribe in the next 3 seconds, you might get lucky tomorrow.
3, 2, 1.
The moment a starfish is taken out of the water, it's breathing.
3 cosas en Japón que resuelven problemas cotidianos. Primero, en Japón, las personas usan pequeños parches faciales para moldear su rostro de forma natural. Estas pequeñas tiras adhesivas se colocan en zonas específicas.
You've probably seen people at the beach picking up starfish for selfies, but those cute photos can actually kill them. But before you see why, if you can like and subscribe in the next 3 seconds, you might get lucky tomorrow.
3 cosas en Japón que resuelven problemas cotidianos. Primero, en Japón, las personas usan pequeños parches faciales para moldear su rostro de forma natural. Estas pequeñas tiras adhesivas se colocan en zonas específicas de la piel para ayudar a los músculos. Esta mujer fue jalada repentinamente.
Hey girl, hurry up and make me that egg cake right now, or today I'll turn your whole shop into a complete circus show.
Hey mister, what's wrong with you? I'm not some chamia or anything, and you can't create chaos in my shop like that. Still, I'll make that special egg cake for you. But for that, you'll have to pay a full $1,000.
Hey babe, $1,000 for just one cake?
3 things in Japan that surprise foreigners at the first is an emergency lamp that works without batteries using only water and salt. They simply place the mixture inside the plastic bag to activate a chemical reaction that generates instant electricity for up to 140 hours for... Second, an inverted honey dispenser that uses gravity to its advantage.
This boy came to the zoo.
This is a professional skydiver. He jumps off the rooftop of a tall building. After a few seconds of free fall, he smoothly opens his parachute and lands safely on the green area below. Watching this, you might wonder, why can't we use a parachute to escape a fire or an earthquake? First off,
this girl was incredibly disciplined in her dance classes, all because she dreamed of becoming a professional dancer. But after a prank went wrong, her classmates blamed everything on her, and the teacher misunderstood the situation and punished her. What hurt even more was what happened on graduation exam day. Every other student passed, but she was the only one who was eliminated. Heartbroken, she had no...
If your boss ever tells you to clean out a concrete mixer, you might want to turn around and head home. Because if you don't, it could lead you to heaven. Many people think it's an easy job to do, but that's not actually how it works. So what's going on? I'll explain. But if you're not an alien, tap like, hit subscribe, then share. Even after it's washed, hardened concrete still sticks to the inside.
This girl was finally going to meet her brother after many days. She slowly and carefully walked up to him, and as the distance between them kept getting smaller, she got closer and closer, and just as she was about to hug him, her brother gave such a reaction that everyone instantly understood what true sibling love really looks like. Give a like for this image. This girl was finally going to meet her brother.
This is why China is the most advanced country, because at first glance it may look like an ordinary umbrella, but don't make the mistake of thinking it's normal. As soon as someone shakes it and tries to put their hand inside, it suddenly opens. And the interesting thing is that this umbrella not only protects from rain, but also prevents lightning strikes. But now a lightning might hit.
This little girl's parents weren't paying attention to her.
This This streamer was just joking around, but he...
Un prisionero se apoyó contra la pared.
Ever wish you had someone following you with a camera while you record videos? Most tripods stay in one place, which means you are constantly walking out of frame or stopping to reposition your phone. This AI phone stand automatically tracks your face and body, keeping you perfectly centered wherever you move.
Si llevas estos 3 bolígrafos a la escuela, el director te convertirá en el mejor alumno de la clase. Y el último bolígrafo incluso lo usa Cristiano Ronaldo. Pero antes de empezar el video, si estudias en la universidad, dale like. Y si estudias en la escuela, dale like y suscríbete. Número 1. Bolígrafo escáner. Mira este bolígrafo. Al presionarlo sobre una pregunta del libro.
My husband is the king of saving money. I thought he was crazy for keeping old wet wipe lids. Instead of throwing them away, he reused them everywhere. Finished a snack bag.
Cuando esta chica ha lanzado la cinta sagrada en el cuenco sagrado ha entrado sin problemas porque solo una...
This girl wanted to know why she wasn't being accepted as a girlfriend. First, she asked if it was because of her height, but he replied that it wasn't. Then she asked if it was because she wasn't pretty, and once again, he said no. After that, she wondered if it was because she wasn't strong enough, but the boy again answered no. The girl, already tired of not understanding the reason, finally asked him directly what the real reason was. But first, who does your heart belong to? If it's your mom, like and subscribe.
What? What would mommy do? What mommy do? Okay.
Mom, I got 100% on my test. Can you come home a little early tonight? I'm going to make a special dinner and we can celebrate together.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to get home early. I promise.
Tomatoes, chopped, eggs, ready, rice, cooking. Just a few more dishes and done. Everything looks perfect. Finally, Mom is going to love this. It's already 6 o'clock and Mom still isn't home.
Look, this girl made a big mistake. She cheated during dance class and was caught by the teacher right away. As punishment, the teacher ordered another student to bring some foam pads. The thick foam under her feet made her very uncomfortable. But even so, she didn't stop cheating. This time, she tried to be more careful, but she was caught again. After that, the punishment became even harsher. Upon learning
When this hairdresser cut this girl's hair, she saw her reflection in the mirror. She felt very sad. She thought it was cut too short like a boy's, fearing her classmates would make fun of her at school. But as soon as the hairdresser finished the look and let her hair down, you can see that she actually got a beautiful feminine cut. When this hairdresser cut this girl's hair, she saw her reflection in the mirror.
Everyone, the ice cream train has arrived. It tastes amazing. Let's get on. Hey, only people who pressed like can enter. I already pressed like, sir. Everyone, the ice cream train has arrived. It tastes amazing. Let's get on. Hey, only people who pressed like can enter. I already pressed like, sir. Everyone, the ice cream train has arrived.
I'm a pancake. I'm a pancake. I'm a...
En China, las escuelas colocan maquetas.
This teacher put an orange in a glass and challenged the students that whoever could take the orange out of the glass without spilling a single drop of water wouldn't get homework. But all the students kept failing one by one because the water spilled. Then this girl came and tried something different. She put her finger into the glass and started swirling it in circles, which...
Never touch this ice with your bare hands. It's a freezing -78°C, and even worse if you haven't hit like yet. This is dry ice. Unlike regular ice that melts into water, dry ice turns straight into gas. Drop it into slime, and the gas creates bubbles until the slime bursts. Put it in water, and it produces thick cloud-like fog, often used in shows and special effects.
This man is going to have the worst day of his life because he just wanted to buy a razor, so he called an employee to open the glass display case. And when the employee took out the razor, it was inside another box, so he waited while the employee unlocked it with a key. And after paying, the employee told him to tap his card, but even the card machine was locked in a box. And when he finally finished paying and headed toward the exit, he suddenly realized the entire store was actually inside one giant box.
Desde pequeña, la chica estaba obsesionada con los conejos. Incluso quería vestirse y verse como uno de ellos. Lo más sorprendente era que sus dientes eran increíblemente fuertes. Por eso nunca necesitaba cuchillo para comer fruta e incluso podía morder y acabar rápidamente con una bolsa entera de maíz. Cuando cumplió 18 años, no tenía dinero para comprar un vestido para el baile de graduación, así que decidió esconderse en su habitación y hacerlo ella misma. Mordió y talló zanahorias poco a poco hasta convertirlas en flores y mariposas, que luego usó para decorar su vestido. Incluso la corona y los pendientes fueron hechos por ella después de pasar noches enteras trabajando.
3 cosas que solo existen en Japón. No te pierdas la última. Número 1. En Japón hay una máquina. 3 cosas.
Lo que explicó este hombre...
Estas chicas querían el pe...
Why is it so hard to hire workers at a steel rolling mill? You might think the job doesn't require much skill, but while it looks simple, the danger involved is far beyond what you can imagine. When a glowing hot steel bar shoots out of the rolling machine, the workers have to grab the top of the steel strip immediately and quickly feed it into another machine for further processing. During this process, they're
A farmer was bitten by a rattlesnake and died. His leather boots were brand new and were stored away for years until his son decided to wear them. He put them on, and after a few days, he also ended up dying. The town panicked, believing the object was cursed by the farmer. That was when a doctor decided to investigate the boot closely. When he looked in... El estibador recibió una multa de $2.000 por operar con demasiada rapidez. ¿Por qué? Porque el barco no se había detenido por completo y ya había atado el cabo de amarre al lastre. ¿Por qué es tan grave? Incluso si el barco va a solo
No one ever took down a knight the way movies make it look. People always say the same thing, just stab the gaps. But real plate armor was not loose metal with random openings. It was a carefully engineered system of overlapping steel, built to move with the body while still protecting it. The areas near the joints were not just exposed flesh waiting to be hit.
Has anyone ever died during SEAL training?
There was an underwater knot tying test where you just go tie a series of knots, you hold your breath, go down, tie a knot, and it takes a while. You gotta tie 5 knots as you're holding your breath. They will let you try.
This woman went viral after sharing a ridiculous incident that happened to her. At first, she was just fooling around and put a grape into her nose. But a few seconds later, she realized she had made a huge mistake. The grape got stuck and would not come out at all. She tried all kinds of ways to remove it, but nothing worked. As time passed, she became more and more panicked. Even after trying over and over again, the grape did not move even a little. The woman started to worry and had no idea what else to do. Just when she was about to give...
How fast can my pet snail run 100 meters? He's racing my friend Snail Bane, and whoever wins gets $50. Let's go, Tony! Come on, Bane! Now, Bane's currently undefeated, so Tony's gonna have to dig deep. Stay on his tail, Tony! And after only 30 minutes, Bane crossed a 25-meter mark with Tony right behind. I got $50 on you, don't embarrass me. But then an ant wandered onto the track, and Bane retreated into his shell, allowing Tony to catch up. What are you doing? He's a nobody! End him already! And after an hour of crawling, Tony had already made it halfway down the track.
La ballena blanca quiso gastarle una broma a escondidas, pero, sin querer, hizo llorar al niño. La ballena se sintió muy culpable, así que se apresuró a pedirle perdón al niño, e incluso le dio un suave beso en la mejilla. Así se hicieron buenos amigos, y el niño iba a visitarla todos los días.
Así fue como un video le cambió la vida a este chico. Mientras trabajaba, encontró una pelota y empezó a jugar con ella. Después miró a su alrededor para ver si alguien lo había visto, y alguien había grabado todo.
Si sacas un tronco...
If you're scrolling right now and you see me,
This man used the sun to create an insanely powerful tool. It can burn through almost anything, even solid rock. He built a giant magnifying lens that focuses sunlight into a single point. That beam can reach temperatures of up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. He started with something simple, an orange. The moment the light hit it, it melted almost instantly. Then he tried metal, and it turned into liquid within seconds. But the craziest part, when he used it on sand, it melted into lava and cooled into black glass. Then he tested it on solid rock. As the light focused, the rock began to spark, and finally, it cracked apart. This proves just how powerful this solar tool really is. This man used the sun to create an insanely powerful tool. It can burn through almost anything, even solid rock. He built a giant magnifying lens that focused...
Dicen que cuando explota una granada debes tirarte al suelo y así estarás a salvo. La idea es que los fragmentos salen disparados hacia arriba, dejando una zona segura cerca del suelo. Pero ¿realmente funciona así? Para averiguarlo, primero el equipo hace explotar una granada. Bajo ninguna circunstancia, intenten repetir esto en casa. En la grabación en cámara lenta se puede ver que los fragmentos realmente salen disparados.
Aquí hay tanta sal que parece imposible que algún día se termine. Mires donde mires, el suelo está cubierto de sal. Con una sola pala puedes sacar un montón enorme. Y más de una persona ha pensado, ¿y si me la llevo a casa para cocinar? Pero ahí está el detalle. Esto no es sal de mesa, es sal en estado natural. Además del cloruro de sodio, contiene mineral.
Ay, mi madre, la limonada de limón que parece de tamarindo, pero sabe a diarrea, está de vuelta. Esta vez el maestro cambió el agua del Ganges por agua de la alcantarilla más cercana, porque siempre se puede empeorar la receta. Primero, el maestro llega con cubetas llenas de...
Fold the long ends of the towel.
Folding the long end.
Pack up your car.
Este cangrejo gigante ha vivido durante...
Top 3 superhero shoes that I built. First, I used this to make self-lacing shoes. It's called Nitinol, and it actually changes shape when you add electricity. So I added it to my shoes, and now they shrink to fit. Then I made some real spray-on shoes.
When this man went to Germany, he wanted to buy his favorite juicy cake. Therefore, he stood outside the shop and started explaining to the shopkeeper using hand gestures what kind of cake he wanted. The shopkeeper carefully understood everything he said and started preparing accordingly. He dipped the soft and spongy cake in lightly sweet syrup to make it even juicier. Then, with great love, he...
You are looking at the only creature on Earth that has discovered the secret to immortality. But the way it does it is actually terrifying. This is the Turritopsis dohrnii. When it faces stress or starvation, it doesn't give up. It undergoes transdifferentiation.
This dog had a rope around its neck because they said it would attack anyone who got close. When the rescuer arrived, the dog was lying completely alone, fast asleep. So he moved in slowly and carefully, sliding the rope over its neck without making a sound. But the second the dog opened its eyes, everything changed. Instead of attacking, it just froze and looked completely terrified.
When this guy brought these strange stairs from the market, everyone thought he had bought the wrong thing because no matter how hard he tried setting them up, they just wouldn't fit properly. And he quickly realized there was no way to climb up like that. So he turned them around and started setting them up from the other side. And this time, they fit perfectly without hitting the ceiling. When this guy brought these strange stairs from the market, everyone...
¿Alguna vez has comido piel de atún por accidente? Puede que ni siquiera llegues al hospital. La piel del atún contiene...
Este chico estaba haciendo... Así puedes sobrevivir.
What you're seeing is a 2,000-year-old way of crossing a river called bamboo drifting, and it takes a year.
¿Sabías que si agarramos
This guy decided to make one of humanity's hardest jobs look so artistic that it led him to land a job on a structure most people only dream of. A stonemason named Charlie is practicing one of the oldest art forms in human history, and there's something strange.
¿Por qué los alfareros destruyen una pieza perfectamente moldeada de arcilla sin dudarlo? La verdad es que moldear la arcilla en el torno es la parte más básica y desafiante de la cerámica. Si un alfarero ve un defecto en una pieza recién hecha, la frustración no ayuda. La única opción es empezar de nuevo. ¿Qué pasa con las piezas incompletas? Se destruyen. Algunos las lanzan.
Sometimes a single small idea is all it takes to make a city feel more alive. There is a street artist in New York named 3D Feedy. He loves hiding his 3D printed miniature artworks all over the city. Every single piece has a QR code on it. This allows people to scan it and verify if it is completely authentic. Whenever he hides a new item, he posts a short video online. This makes people race all around the city to search for it. Whoever finds it first gets to keep it. Some finders have actually flipped these for tens of dollars. But on the secondary market, these pieces can resell for thousands. Have you ever found one of these? Sometimes a single small idea is all it takes to make a city feel more alive. There is a street artist in New York named 3D Feedy. He loves hiding his 3D printed miniature artworks all over the city. Every single piece has a QR code on it. This allows people to scan it and verify if it is completely authentic. Whenever he hides a new item, he posts a short video online. This makes people race all around the city to search for it. Whoever finds it first gets to keep it. Some finders have actually flipped these for tens of dollars. But on the secondary market, these pieces can resell for thousands. Have you ever found one of these? Sometimes a single small idea is all it takes to make a city feel more alive. There is a street artist in New York named 3D Feedy. He loves hiding his 3D printed miniature artworks all over the city. Every single piece has a QR code on it. This allows people to scan it and verify if it is completely authentic. Whenever he hides a new item, he posts a short video online. This makes people race all around the city to search for it. Whoever finds it first gets to keep it. Some finders have actually flipped these for tens of dollars. But on the secondary market, these pieces can resell for thousands. Have you ever found one of these? Sometimes a single small idea is all it takes to make a city feel more alive. There is a street artist in New York named 3D Feedy. He loves hiding his 3D printed miniature artworks all over the city. Every single piece has a QR code on it. This allows people to scan it and verify if it is completely authentic. Whenever he hides a new item, he posts a short video online. This makes people race all around.
This man suddenly realized he had been stranded completely alone on Mars for the last 107 days. He began searching for a way to send news to Earth that he was still alive. Then he found the Pathfinder rover, which had been idle since 1976. The machine was very old, but he didn't give up. As soon as he connected it and turned it on, it actually started working. He turned the signal tower towards Earth, and instantly the space agency on Earth received the signal. Everyone was astonished because this meant there was a human being alive on Mars.
Everyone else in the cast was great too. It wasn't just like Nicolas Cage is outstanding. Everyone was doing amazing, and it was just really great superhero TV show. And it makes you sad that we're not getting.
La princesa se quitó los adornos.
If every time you try to draw hair, it ends up looking like these random spikes.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Don't worry. Here are 3 hairstyles that are
¿Puedes creer que un niño de 10 años logró evitar que el Titanic chocara contra el iceberg y ganó $50.000 por hacerlo? Algo que ni siquiera el capitán del Titanic consiguió. En Estados Unidos hay un museo réplica del Titanic donde los visitantes pueden intentar uno de los desafíos más difíciles, tomar el control del Titanic y evitar el iceberg. La prueba es casi imposible.
Este es el pastel más caro del mundo. Se llama Castella y casi nadie puede comprarlo, incluso si fuera.
Why do people say pressure point attacks don't actually exist in real life? Even professional actors and stunt performers need a lot of training to pull it off naturally. First, it takes serious core strength and full body control. When someone falls sideways like this, every muscle has to stay tight at the same time. Second, this movement goes against your body's natural reflexes. The moment your body starts falling, your head automatically tries to straighten itself to protect you. So even trained performers have to consciously fight that instinct and force themselves to stay stiff. And in real filming, it becomes even harder. Different surfaces, different angles, and different directions mean every fall feels slightly different. That's why this kind of movement takes an incredible amount of practice and body control. Once you add the right outfit, camera angle, and makeup, it can honestly look less like acting and more like someone actually got hit with a pressure point.
Here are 3 of the craziest things found under store shelves. In 2022, a man in Wisconsin was at Target when he started checking under the shelves for no reason. He found some common Pokemon card collections, but his girlfriend saw a rare purple sealed Pokemon pack from about 15 years ago covered in dust. He tried to pay for it, but it didn't scan since it had likely been sitting there for years. He silently left the store with it without anyone noticing. When he opened it, he pulled a rare Pikachu card and some other God cards which were worth $6,000. You will never make a mistake like this dog, because this dog was riding a skateboard with a skill that not many people can do. At first, he easily crossed 2 steps, but after a while, he made a decision that made everyone present worry. In front of him was a long and dangerous staircase. Usually, no one would take such a risk. The dog stood on the skateboard and started moving straight towards the staircase. A small mistake.
Así se hacen los mejores sándwiches de miga.
Lo más importante para el sándwich es la calidad de la miga. Mira qué fresco que es el pan, es una nube blanca.
La mayoría trabaja para 2 días. Yo llega el pan, automáticamente lo corto, lo pelo, por eso nuestra miga es fresca.
Después de cortarle los bordes.
Masú. Men, masú.
This couple is making something unique. They are using this sussy golden straws to make art. I can guarantee you have never seen anything like the end result. The straws can take shape however you want, so you can use your imagination to make literally anything you wish. They start by separating them into different sections, which makes working on every small detail easier. Can you guess what they are making? It is something very important for us to survive on this planet. Most of the work is done. After completing some small details, the final result looks something like this. Rate the art out of 10 in the comments. This couple.
To keep porch pirates from stealing his packages, this guy built a hidden storage box that's almost impossible to notice. First, he attached a panel to a simple frame and painted it to match the surrounding area. Once it blended in, the whole structure looked like it had always been there. Next, he grabbed a mirror and removed the backing layer. Then he moved it onto a workbench so he could...
In this Chinese museum, artificial animal eyes are kept, and by looking through them, it can be understood what an owl sees like. And a fish sees everything in a very green way, while a horse sees things kind of like UV light, which looks completely different from human vision. And a bee sees things almost like an X-ray. And cats see things completely differently from humans. They see things with a slight blue filter over.
At a boat ramp on Corio Bay, just north of Yeppoon, known to house a croc or several.
There he is, look at this.
Bare-chested angler Jason Dern, armed only with his bare hands and a line, finds himself facing off with a different kind of...
In a sunlit alley, a small cafe owner named Mina turned scraps into meals, proving resilience beats resources.
Incluso un simple...
Look at that guy flying through the air. It probably feels a lot like being Superman, but if you hit something at that speed, that's a completely different story. So how do wingsuit flyers control their speed and direction? Most wingsuits don't have engines. They're basically gliding through the air.
If you get a ringworm, most people think there's an actual worm stuck in your skin, but it actually has nothing to do with worms. You see, a ringworm is a fungal infection, and its name comes from the itchy circular rash that kind of looks like a worm.
So that's exactly it. It's
This baby is only 1 month old. He couldn't tell his parents that something was wrong.
This is exactly why you should never judge someone by their weird behavior. Because when this man was making a paint mess with his little feet, everyone thought he was acting like a spoiled child. But it actually turned out to be a brilliant idea. Because after putting a frame around his messy art, he got straight to work. Using his ancestors' skills, he slowly fixed up all the dirty mess. And finally, when the brush left the canvas, he made everyone speechless.
This man wants to keep his neighborhood safe, even if people make fun of his warning signs. Wolves have been seen here before, and some people have even been injured. That's why he warns everyone about the danger. On one of the boards, he also wrote that children have gone missing in this park. So, will you make fun of him, or give him a like for his effort? This man wants to keep his neighborhood safe, even if people make fun of him.
Un chico soñaba con ser vaquero, así que fabricó un caballo de hierro impresionante. Con solo imitar la postura de un vaquero, podía avanzar sin miedo. Al instante, les presentó su nuevo vehículo a sus amigos, pero cuando ellos lo montaron, tuvieron un accidente. Así que el chico lo mejoró rápidamente. Ahora era más seguro y además se veía muy...
Esta es la verdadera razón por la que un abrigo de...
A few years ago, I was able to make something called hot ice, which would instantly freeze when it was poured out, and I was able to grow this weird tower thing. This is just a regular light bulb.
Today, we eat 9.615 cubic centimeters of strawberries. First, wash the strawberries and remove the seeds from the strawberry one by one. This took me just 2.1 hours to finish. Next, slice the strawberry into thin slices and ensure each slice is no thicker than 0.2 millimeters. According to the formula for a cylinder, 3.14 multiplied by the square of the radius multiplied by the height, and measured each slice accurately before inputting them into my calculator and rounding it to 3 decimals.
El otro día descubrí que
what would really happen if a megalodon swallowed you? You think you'd die instantly, right? Wrong. If you somehow avoided its massive teeth, you'd still be trapped inside a living death. So how could you even survive that? I'll explain, but if you don't want this happen to you, tap like, click subscribe, and share this fact. A megalodon
Deja de elegir frutas solo por el color. Ese método es incorrecto. Si quieres una manzana crujiente y dulce, elige las que tienen rayas. Las manzanas completamente rojas suelen ser menos sabrosas. También hay trucos para elegir sandía. Las que tienen el tallo curvado, las que tienen las rayas más anchas, y las que tienen el ombligo más pequeño. Normalmente son más dulces.
Everyone once in their lifetime got their wisdom teeth removed, but nothing is funnier than these singers getting their wisdom teeth removed, starting with Justin Bieber.
Just real life. I feel funny. The world is spinning around me.
Don't touch your stitches, Justin. Bieber, don't touch your stitches.
What's happening?
No. Bieber, stop.
You have 4 eyes.
This boy could not catch a single butterfly.
Grab a strawberry and slice off a piece like this. Then place it in a pot with soil. Outer skin side up. Sprinkle some soil on top. Then water it. Then place a bottle or cup over it like this.
Los gringos no saben cocinar. Parte 1. El día de hoy veremos a una señora que está a punto de hacer una parrillera para todos.
What would these animals look like without feathers? Let's find out. At number 1, it comes the owl, which is known as a highly skilled hunter. But if it had no feathers, it would look something like this. Before we see number 2, if you're not an owl, then like this video and subscribe to the channel. Only a good person would do that, not an owl. At number
What would
Wow, this strawberry growing gadget works incredibly fast. I have to order it before everyone else buys it. I just got the package with the gadget, and sure enough, the gadget is actually inside the package. But which of these strawberry growing gadgets would you choose? If you prefer the bigger one, leave a like, and if you prefer the smaller one,
The stylist was about to trim her hair when she unexpectedly discovered her deeply hidden secret. A serious motorcycle accident had caused her to lose hair due to a head injury. However, with only 2 days left until her wedding, she was terrified that the scar on her head would ruin the wedding.
Are you coffee? Cause I really love you a latte. Bye. Are you coffee? Cause I really love you a latte. Bye. Are you coffee? Cause I really love you a latte. Bye.
This man is a bodybuilder, and as soon as his child was born, he started him on this path. Before the baby was even 6 months old, he made foam weights for him and helped develop his muscle memory. The man's efforts continued for years. The child continued to work out with lightweight foam weights until he was 5 years old. By the time he turned 6, the child was doing something that will shock you when you see it. But first...
Esta obra de arte de Corea del Sur, llamada Mesa Redonda, está compuesta por 18 figuras sin cabeza hechas de paja, que balancean esta mesa sobre sus espaldas. Lo curioso es que, sobre la mesa, hay una sola cabeza rodando. Cuando la mesa se acerca al borde, las figuras se levantan para intentar atraparla, haciéndola rodar hacia el otro lado y creando un bucle eterno. Al mismo tiempo, 3 buitres observan desde arriba. Según el artista, esto
Never ever drink from your water bottle on an airplane, or this is what will happen. Because when the plane is high in the sky, the air pressure inside the cabin is different from normal. Since the bottle is tightly closed, the air inside becomes trapped, making the pressure inside and outside unbalanced. But if you have already drank water today, then hit like and subscribe. This can...
Guess you wonder where I...
Estos son los dos alimentos más costosos del mundo. El primero es el azafrán, una especia tan valiosa que muchos la llaman oro rojo. Un solo kilo puede superar los $40,000 y la razón es porque no crece en grandes cantidades ni se puede producir en masa. Cada flor...
This little girl kept telling her mom that something was moving inside her ear. The feeling wouldn't go away, so they rushed to the doctor to find out what was really in there. The doctor looks inside with his camera and sees something big stuck deep in her ear canal. He tries grabbing it with tweezers.
Why do millions of Muslims seek...
Why do some people intentionally eat bananas that already look black and rotten? But first, if you like eating bananas, hit like and subscribe. Even though they seem disgusting at first, those bananas usually aren't spoiled at all. That dark color actually means they've become overripe, making the texture much softer and the taste naturally...
Today was the day this little baby finally had his cast removed. When the doctor started cutting it with scissors, he didn't look scared at all. The sweetest part was how calmly he watched the doctor the entire time without a single tear. The doctor couldn't believe how brave such a tiny child could be, so he carefully finished taking the whole cast off. And for courage like this, he only got 2 likes.
This little boy went to a camping trip in the forest last week. After coming back, he was having constant hearing problems. Even during classes, he couldn't hear his teacher properly, so his mom took him to a doctor. When When the doctor checked inside, he found the largest piece of earwax he had ever seen. It was like a giant insect has been living inside.
Look, this boy had been working for hours building a beautiful sand castle, but just when it seemed like he was about to finish it, a girl tripped over it and broke it. He felt sad, but he didn't give up. He started rebuilding it and promised that if anyone tried to destroy it,
Ni se te ocurra volver a...
These are the dumbest Chinese products. And at number 5, I'd have to wash my hands even after using this.
Hola, hermana. ¿Puedo ser?
Por eso los gatos son más inteligentes que los perros. Cuando los perros beben agua, curvan sus lenguas como cucharas gigantes para recoger agua y llevarla a sus bocas. Pero como lo hacen de manera tan agresiva, normalmente dejan un gran desastre por todas partes. Pero cuando se trata de los gatos, beben de una forma completamente...
A boy released a small white snake from a bottle.
Here are 5 watermelons you probably never knew existed. Number 5, Densuke watermelon. Grown only in Japan, this watermelon has a completely black rind with no stripes. It is incredibly rare and can sell for thousands of dollars. Inside, the flesh is extra sweet, crisp, and juicy, making it one of the most luxurious fruits in the world. Number 4, yellow crimson watermelon. This watermelon looks normal on the outside, but hides a bright yellow interior. It tastes even sweeter than traditional red watermelon, and has a smooth, honey-like flavor that surprises anyone who tries it. Number 3, moon and stars.
When you slice a watermelon in half and in half again,
So we are slicing it in half and in half again.
then cut it into wedges,
Then we are cutting it into wedges, just like that.
the sticky juices cover your face as you eat.
There's glue all over our mouth.
Have you ever wondered how to open your eyes underwater without goggles, without hurting them? Most people just force their eyes open, but that can irritate your eyes, especially in salty, chlorinated, or dirty water, because the longer they're exposed, the more uncomfortable it gets. So, is there a safer way? I'll tell you. But if you don't want this to happen to you, make sure to like.
her boyfriend made a big mistake when he yelled at her for doing nothing but chewing carrots all day. She had the cutest little bunny teeth and loved carving carrots into the wildest things. When he tried to throw her out, she struck a pose and transformed into a full superhero suit of armor made of carved carrots with glowing red LED eyes. Another day, she bit.
What if some of the world's most famous fruits are also the most disliked fruits? Here are the top 5 most hated fruits on Earth. Number 5, persimmon. This fruit...
Algunos animales ponen huevos tan raros que parecen falsos, pero el número 1 dejó a millones en shock. Número 3.
¿Hasta dónde deberíamos de confiar en la inteligencia artificial? Vamos a averiguarlo. Fui al supermercado a comprar un par de sandías y ChatGPT...
I'm gonna eat these spicy strips.
Oh, Dad, this is so little. It's not enough.
How did it turn into an even longer one?
Yeah, the plate is working its magic again.
How did it become round?
Haha, it looks like a spring.
So many. Are you trying?
While visiting his late grandfather...
Este chico cometió un error en la...
3 botellas de agua tan geniales que si las llevas a la escuela, tu profe que...
5 animal eggs that don't look real. Some look like glass, some look like jelly, and the last one looks like something from another planet. Number 1, salamander eggs. These eggs look like tiny blobs of jelly floating in water. Inside, you can actually see the baby salamanders developing in real time. It's like watching life form right in front of your eyes. Number 2, jawfish eggs. This fish takes parenting to another level. The male jawfish holds all the eggs inside his mouth. He protects them for days, barely eating, until they finally hatch. His mouth basically becomes...
Here are 3 of the craziest things ever found.
Mistakes you should never make with these animals. Number 1. Never blink at a baboon. In baboon language, blinking means one thing: I want to fight. So if you think you're being cute, the baboon thinks you've just declared war, and it's already stepping up like it's game on. Number 2. Never surprise a horse. If you do, you might literally go flying backward. Horses have extremely fast reflexes, and one powerful kick can break bones instantly. Always let them know you're nearby before approaching. Number 3. Never hug a sloth. They may look like slow, sleepy teddy bears, but their fur is basically a living ecosystem, full of algae.
¿Sabías que
Mistakes.
A few days ago, this man went to visit his grandmother at her house. She told him some bad news. The big turtle she had been raising had